Yo. Let me see what's up with my microphone. Audio. Okay, here we are. We on? Are we on? Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I don't know what's going on. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is it connected? All right, here we go. We connected now. Shit, having difficulties, hard times, and all that. Having the difficulties and hard times. Wake and bake. What's going on, people? Ain't nobody showing up yet. We'll see. Let me show you guys what it's looking like today. Let me see if I could get to the camera. So they had grew some. They had stretched out a little bit more. Y'all could see it, you know. She has stretched out a little bit more, and it's sticking it. It has gotten thicker, and it looked like it has gotten sticky because when I was defoliating, oh man, them shits was sticky in my finger. Like some of the leaves that I was taking off just so I don't have to deal with it again, it was sticky on my hand, like slightly. Oh, fellas, check this out. Um, I just put her in the bigger cup now. I got her in the bigger cup. I'll be getting a fluorescent light this week to see how it works. I will be topping her once that sixth note it's mature enough. I will be topping her, and I'm gonna try to see what I can do. If it does work, hey, I did something good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's all right. I'm new to this. The next grow, salute. Good morning, my brother. What's going on, my brother? Let me switch this camera around because I don't know how to. Oh, because I'm on the phone. That's where I gotta be. Gotta go through these settings when you're on the phone. That's a lot. All right, front. Here we go. Yo, what's going on, my brother? How was your Friday? How was your Good Friday? We don't eat meat on Good Friday in my house. My family, we don't eat meat on Good Friday. So yesterday I had shrimps and stuff like that, fish. We ate seafood, stuff like that. That's what we had. Yo, blessings to you. I still haven't have the official what you say, the official StreamYard joint. This is the free version, but I'm trying to show what more and get have my supporter get more familiar with me, and I want to get more familiar with my supporters and stuff like that. And first of all, I would like to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I didn't even think I would get this far to where I'm at right now with the plants, growing the plants, with subscribers, with people interacting, commenting, liking, share. I never thought I would get to this far, and I'm not. But the little bit that the, you know, how could I say? Because I get nervous when I'm talking to people. You know, well, to be where I'm at right now, I'm grateful and thankful, and I just want to give you guys and say my thanks to you guys. I really do appreciate you guys, man. Y'all keep me going with your comments, definitely. Um, you know, I don't know if people be trying to gas me, but I have a lot of people in my comments who really don't believe this is my first grow. People think like I tricked them or anything like that, but no, that it's not a game. This is actually my first grow. That's why I don't do videos like that, because I don't know much about plants like that, and I don't know what I'll be talking about, what I'm saying, what I will be saying. So I'm trying to learn the plant, like learn more about it. So when I do more videos with my plants, I have better details and more information about growing. Period. I don't know anything yet. This is my first time ever, so I can't tell people, oh, these are the best lights. I can't tell people, oh, this is the best tint. Or I can't go run around and tell people, oh, this is the best soil, the best. I don't know yet. This is my first time ever doing any of this stuff. You know, I could only share my experience as I grow along. Um, Nutrients. That's like, okay, nutrients. What I'm using is I'm using organic, dry organic amendments. I'm using Gaia Green, 444, 284, 284 or 486 or whatever that is called, a bloom, and the all-purpose. And I'm using worm casting and mycos, and that's all I'm using as for now. Because I don't know much about feeding and none of this type of stuff. So I'm just working with the little bit I got till I graduate and get it right. That's all I'm trying to do right now. Let me go this light right here. It's too much. I really don't know much about lights and stuff like that. But right now I'm using Gaia Green for all purpose and the bloom and the myco. And I'm running Pro Mix BX soil. That's what that's the type of, I don't know if it's dirt. I don't even know about this. If it's dirt, I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm learning, so a lot of people gonna make fun of me and stuff like that. But it's cool, man. It's all right, man. I could deal with it. I got thick skin, man. I got a thick skin. Not everybody, understands certain things. But man, I'm happy with the results that I'm getting right here, fellas. Like, they really looking good for what I can see. They really looking good. Like, they passed the trellis. That's what I was looking forward, hoping for. These passed the trellis already. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got four tops that passed the trellis. I got 1, 2, 3 that passed the trellis. This is right on the trellis. She passed the trellis, one of them. I don't know. She's still stuck in the bottom. I don't know what, but my first growth, so it's all right. She's done great. Look how tall she has gotten. She's over the trellis already. She's like at least an inch over the trellis, like an inch over the trellis. So that's pretty good. You know, I'm all right. I take that. I deal with that. So how's it going, guys? What's up? What's going on? I'm smoking on what is it? Sherb, Sherb, whatever you call it, however you pronounce it. That's what I'm smoking on right now. But I gotta get more. I want to get myself another setup. Like, I would like to have another grow tent, but I want like a 3x3 or another 4x4. No more than a 4x4. I just want to. I want another 4x4 or 3x3 or 2x4 or yeah. That's what I want. One of those type of setups right there. I would like to have. I would like to have another one. I really want to have something where I could keep a mother plant for vegging and stuff like that. Because I want to get into it deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, because I had downloaded a couple things, like a couple books that was free online, and that's what I've been reading. Those little books, I've been reading those books, and those books been giving me, I mean, enough information to get by, I guess. So I will have to see who wrote the book and what's the name of the book when I go on my phone later on. I'll probably put it on the post, but I'm pretty sure y'all people probably know. But who knows? It's probably, I don't know. But that book that I've been reading has been helping me. Plus, um, going on Google is also helping me out a lot. Shout out to Grow with Kenny. You know what I'm saying? He has also helped me out, you know, with the advice and stuff like that. And other people in the comments giving me their advice. It kind of, it has done a lot for me, you know. Yeah, you guys have done a lot for me, you know. But honestly, I never even seen a plant grow in my life, y'all. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. Oh, you got a 3x10? Yeah, that's nice. That's what I would like to get. You got a 3x5 tent. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you got two nice tent right there. You got the 3x5 and the 2x4. Those are nice tents. I want to get to that. Yeah, I like that tent right there. The 3x5. Right. But uh, hey, the next row. Listen, that 3x5, is it bigger than a 4x4? Like taller? Is it taller than a 4x4? Or is it the same height? Is it like 6.5 feet, like a 4x4? Or is it taller, that 3x5? Or is it shorter? Like, because you know what I want? I don't want nothing too big, you know. I just want to have a couple tents where I could have one for vegging. You know, I could have two, you know, because I'm only running 4 plants right now. I'm only running four. JP, salute. I'm only running 4 plants right now. So I would like to run a couple more plants. I would like to at least run 6 at least. Have 6. I could run 12, but I don't think I have the skills yet to run 12. But I would like to run 6 plants. Six plants. So I need to get another 10. So I would love to have another 4x4, or like you said, that 3x5. That sounds good. But I want two more. I want 2 more tents. I want one for vegging, you know, and another one for grow. And I might get. I mean, I'm thinking too far, but I think I have to step up my game much more. But this is just the beginning. It's gonna take time. I'm just talking way ahead of my time, fellas. What's up, JB? How's it going with you, my brother? How's everything? What y'all smoking on, by the way? Y'all smoking? And if y'all smoking, what y'all smoking on? Cushion cheese. Okay. Yo, I only smoke blunts. I try to smoke paper, but I can't smoke on paper. You know, I try, but smoking on paper doesn't work for me. It burns too fast. Just waiting on harvest to dry. Oh, Frost Wilson. Oh, Wilson cake. I never heard of that. Sounds good. Wilson cake. I never heard of that. You know that. You know what's crazy? There's so many different strains out there that I'm pretty sure there's even growers or breeders. There's strains out there that maybe breeders haven't even heard yet, right? Because there's so many strains out there, right? There's always something. One thing I want to do, and I think I'm gonna give myself this is like something I really want to do because like uh maybe within a year or so I want to give myself a year, yeah, like a year where I want to start what you call that, breeding. I want to start that. I want to learn the process. I want to learn how to reverse a plant. You know, I want to learn that, like a plant that I want to learn that. Like I want to learn how y'all reversing plants. You know what I'm saying? Like how y'all reverse plants. Let me drop the link just in case anybody want to show up. Pull up. I don't even know. Oh, here you go. I thought it was on regular YouTube. My bad, fellas. But I forgot StreamYard allowed you to drop links. Okay. Um, how do I pin this shit? Show on stage? I don't even know. I don't even know how to pin this. Y'all can hit the link and show y'all grow if y'all don't mind. I'm just trying to figure out how people put this pin it in the chats, like how they. What is it? Star comment? No, not a star. How they pin this shit? Okay. Oh, put on stage. Oh, that's how they do it. Mephisto. Yeah, your first outdoor grow. Yo, look, I'm not gonna lie. Look, everybody be like, yo, I wish I was in New York. I always hear people say shit like that. But then again, when I hear y'all people talking about what y'all do, I'll be like, man, I wish I lived where they was at, because y'all people got yards where y'all could grow in the yard and all that. You can't do that shit in New York, man. Motherfuckers will rob you. You'll have a home invasion in New York. You understand what I'm saying? New York there'll be home invasion. Motherfuckers are, man, it'll be crazy, man. I bought a spray to what? Make seeds. But a spray to make what? What you mean a spray? I don't know. I'm new to this. Yeah, if anybody wanna pull up and kick it with me, that'll be dope. Cause there's a lot of shit I'm not even gonna understand. Y'all way more advanced than me. I'll be lost sometimes. I'll be like, what? Huh? fam seeds. STS, right? Your nearest neighbor is like a mile away. You playing with me? You lying? Get the fuck out of here! A mile away, your nearest neighbor, JB? Nah, you fucking with me, bro. You fucking with me, bro. You gotta be fucking with me. You gotta be fucking with me. Yo, y'all gotta, yo, a mile away? Wow. That's great. A mile away? Shit. You know, my nearest neighbor is like a foot away. Them motherfuckers like a feet away from me. My nearest neighbor, man. I forgot my coffee, man. Excuse me for a second. Let me go warm it up. I left it out. I was actually watering the plants. I was actually watering my plants right now. And I just transport. What did I say that? Transport? Yeah, transport my little clone. Listen, fellas, I don't know anything about this. I'm just going with the flow. And things, ideas has come into popped into my head, you know. I had ideas pop up. And believe it or not, these are things I've been trying on my own. Like I'll be having fruits, vegetables in the bottom of my fridge. And I'll be having a lot of I'll be having a lot of scallions, green onions and stuff like that. Yo, and no lie to you guys. The reason why I thought about the reason why I came up with this idea, fellas, of having look at my clone, guys. Look, what y'all think about Homegrow's clone? Look, this is my clone, fellas. I just watered her, so she's a little droopy, and I just transport. But I'm about to post some pictures. Let me see. Let me see if there's any way I could show you guys. Let me see if I could show you guys my pictures this morning. What I was doing. Let me see. Um, let me see. Oh, I gotta pay for this shit. Yeah, I gotta pay for that shit. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I just learning how to use this. Oh, here we go. Oh, I know how to use StreamYard. Here we go. JB,
Hey, what's up?
what's going
Hey,
on,
what's
my
up, big
brother?
dog? Uh, yeah, this is what I got harvest. It's dry now.
Okay, that's JB, fellas.
It's,
Wow,
yeah, she's drying.
those are autos,
No, there's regular photos,
regular. Ooh.
but yeah,
How long
she's
you had them there for?
Been in here for a week.
Okay. They're looking good.
57. Yep. Like I said, my neighbor's far away.
You said a mile away.
'Cause
You
this
know,
is
that's crazy. So you don't got a soul where you at.
yeah. Because this is my look. This is my
Oh
front door.
my God. Hold up. It's snow up there?
Yeah, it snowed last night.
Holy shit.
Hey, here's my dog, my Roddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love dogs. I got three. Right now, one is
She just
sleeping
had
in my
babies.
room.
She had 10 babies just last. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Oh, so you're grandpops.
yeah,
Congratulations. Oh, you got
yeah.
a cat?
Because
Okay, that's
the
cool.
little baby. That's my. Here's the little babies. the
Wow, they nice. They
little
cute,
little
man.
little baby Roddies. Yep.
They cute, my brother.
yep.
Hey, man, listen, what are they like 2 weeks old? They like what, a week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks? They're like 2 weeks old, right?
Yeah, 1 week old.
Or one
Yeah,
week
one
old.
week
They still
old.
young. So they still haven't even learned to walk
Yeah,
properly.
yeah,
That's how I have my
yeah.
dogs.
I have zero neighbor. Yeah, it's quiet as fuck out here. No neighbors, no nothing.
Damn. So you could grow, nobody could see what you're growing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to do my outdoor this year.
Wow, I wish I had a place like that. That is awesome right there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Listen, I'm amazed. Mo M, salute. Wow, I'm
yeah,
amazed.
yeah.
I
My
ain't
when my
really
grandpa
think
passed
that
away,
way.
I got like 1,000 acres.
Wow. Wow. God bless. Wow, you do. You
yeah,
know,
I
my
used to live in a
neighbor,
big city, but
I'm
yeah,
listening. You used to live in a big city.
yeah, I used
You
to.
know,
Then I moved out here because I got tired of that bullshit.
you know.
Now I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't even lock my doors or nothing.
Now over here, listen, over here, if I was to show you, look, if I show you my door, I got one, two, three, I got four locks, my brother.
Damn, that's
I,
crazy.
yeah, safety first in New York, you heard? For real.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
four locks. I got four locks. And a ring door. You heard? Got cameras.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how I gotta live over here.
That's crazy.
That's how I gotta live.
Yep,
But
yep.
listen, yo, like,
But
I don't know, like, so I see people that have plants out in the cold like that. Do they really grow out in cold weathers like that?
I don't know. Like I said, it's gonna be my first time doing outdoor. I'm kind of new too. I only done like 4 grows, so I'm not.
Oh, you know, that's great. You know that, right? Because you learn from that, from your mistake when you know. School of Crops. Salute, my brother. Yeah, that's dope.
Goes in, goes in and out.
You know, people be like, "Oh, I wish I was in New York." I wish I was where you at right now. You know how many plants I'll probably be growing over there. You know all the greenhouse, whatever they call. I be seeing people putting in a property. I will be putting up over there. Hey, right now, I'm just sitting in front of my tent and just looking at these babies grow. You know what? Because I have nothing else to do. I have nowhere to go. That's it. I don't have much to do. I have my cat here annoying me, Mishu. She's annoying. Like she always want to be eating. She's old too though. Look at my cat. Come here, Mishu. This is my cat. This is Mishu. This is my cat. She been through tons of shit. She been through a lot. She been through a lot. Let me tell you something about my cat right here. When I used to live in Brooklyn, right? I used to live in East New York. And I used to live in a house like I told you guys before. Shit, I wish I knew about this before like that, because I would have been doing that a long time ago. I had a whole house and everything. Great neighbors. My yard, I had tons of cats, tons of cats. And I used to feed all these cats in my yard. Yeah, I see. But whenever you want to come back up, you can come back up. You're welcome. Just hit the link. Anybody, School of Crops, anybody is welcome. So I used to feed all the cats. And my dogs don't like cats. My dogs used to try to kill all those cats in the yard. But my dogs never got to grab any of them. That's when they was on their prime time. And I used to feed her, her family, her mother. But before anything, before she came around, her mom's, I had it in my yard for 3 years. I was feeding her. I had a whole bunch of cats, and I had them all lined up. No fighting. Like y'all probably know what the fuck this nigga talk about. No fighting. Yeah, no fighting. Like dead ass. No fighting. Them cats, no fighting. But being that I lived in the house, those cats was on point. They was wise. They always was on point for my dogs because my dogs used to escape from my house and run outside to the yard. But my yard was the gates, all that was always locked. But they just, since my house was always free, they was always escaping. So one time, her mother, her mom's, you know, had a whole bunch of kittens. Had like not a whole bunch. She had like 6 or 7 kittens. 6 or 7 kittens she had. And this is real story, man, because I went a little I took it a little personal. So there was this guy who just moved into the block, you know, and he sounded like a nice person, sound like a cool dude. But sometimes people that sound cool and maybe looking cool ain't cool. I still, always in between, always in between. I never. So he killed 2 of the fucking cats. The second time, I got him on camera because I had cameras, and the the other ones got killed by other cars. Okay, I can't do. But dude, you live on the block, and these are my cats. I smacked the shit out of him so hard. I smacked him so hard. So she was the only one left. I said, I can't leave her alone out there. So I took her inside. When I took her inside, my big dogs was trying to snatch her up and all this other shit. And but she was a baby. She was a baby. And then they wind up being cool with her. But her and one of my other pit bulls used to stay at war, clashing. They used to stay fighting. Her and my other pit, Taz, used to stay fighting. But you know, she held it down. She earned the respect, and she's been around for 10 years already. She's going on 11 years with me. My dog Taz is already 11. My dog Shadow's about to be 12 years old. You know, um, Yeah, she's about to be 11. You know what I'm saying? So she's been around for so quite some time. And then I got my pit bull, Taz. That boy right now is sleeping with my son right now in the bed. You know, stuff like that. But if I would have known this, I would have had that basement flooded with plants. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. At that time, I would have had the basement flooded. But I kind of like this because it's like it's relaxing. I think like me growing, it has relaxed me so much. I don't have too much stress and so much worries and so much things going through my mind and focusing. Because listen, when you how can you, I don't know, when you kind of isolate yourself or as you get older, or I don't know what it is, things change and and a lot of thoughts come through your mind and things. I don't know if anybody deal with that, but me. So this has been a change in little ways for me. It takes things off my mind. I'll be like, okay, um let me go check these plants out. I look at them. The time that I'm looking at that takes for me to look them, inspect them, and go around and do a little reading and little stuff like that, having me doing something, it takes a lot of things that put worries and so much of my mind that that will really bring you down and break you down as a human being. You know what I'm saying? So doing this has been a change in that type of way, So, and it's also been an amazing experience to see how a cannabis plant grow from seed to where it's at in flower. So it's gonna be a more of an amazing thing for me to see when I see it turn to buds and all this other shit. It really is, you know. But don't think I just sit here. I just do this when I'm with you guys right here. So I'll just sit here as part of my show because I don't have a setup yet. But I will be having a setup where I will be making my shows. I will have a banner. I'm gonna be a little bit. I'm not gonna be 100. Just a little bit more better. More or just like this. Who cares? Or who? Yeah, like or like this is fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not getting paid for this. But this is, as for now, this has been like one of the best thing I have chosen. Yo, listen, when me looking at this shit right now got me going crazy. My mind, I don't even worry about too many negatives. I actually be, I'm actually in shock. Like, man, I got this shit going like this. I hope I could keep this shit going right. I want to see it get to the next level. You know, this is today's the last day of week 4. This is the last day of week 4 for these babies. This is the last day of week 4 for these babies. Tomorrow, Sunday, officially week 5. You know what I'm saying? Officially week 5.
What up? What up? What up, brother?
Hey, what's up, School of Crops? How's it going? Everybody say
I
what's
want
up,
to.
School of Crops.
I want to say congratulations to you.
Yo, man, I want to say, no matter where I go, I always put you on the map. I'll be like, yo, I don't know if y'all familiar with School of Crops, but he told me this. I don't know if people deal with you or don't deal with you. 'Cause I don't know, sometimes you go to places you don't know, but I always put you on the map, though. You heard? So I don't know if people may not like me or like me, but I always put you on the map. If it wasn't for you, I'll be waiting. I'll probably start my grow maybe next year. My first grow would have started
It's
next year.
it's better to start growing yesterday. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
always add stuff later, but just to get your feet wet, get in, you just got to get started. You just got to do
Dude,
it. You know?
look, dude. Like I said, yo, I gotta get the spider for my fan. You say you don't need that shit. You get yourself a regular fucking fan, a stand-up fan. I remember that shit, and I was like, regular fan. So the way people put these things in people's mind and really make you believe like this is the fan that you need. Without this fan, your plant is not going to grow properly and they're not going to get the proper circulation. Listening to you, I was like, wait a minute. So I got this fan here. I said, oh, I don't need a Spider Farmer fan right now. I could do
Oh,
this.
no,
So
that
my
fan
first
blows. This is
fan,
good.
yeah, my first fan in the tent, this one, and it's been doing great. 3 speed. I got it in level 2, because I don't need it blowing heavy. Um, I got my next Spider Farmer fan, within a month later. Then, like with another 3 weeks later, 2 weeks, I came off. Wow, things was a little easier for me, so I said I got the next one. But it took time. But if it wasn't because of you, just being honest and being real, your dude, you could just grow in the corner of your room or something. I was like, nah, this dude is serious. And you
I
showed
mean,
me your plants that you had sun out like in a window or something you had, right?
yeah, yeah. I
Jesus
still got the
Christ,
big mom by the window.
you
I
fucked
mean,
up
look,
my head with that.
you. I can respect everybody's hustle, right? I can I can respect everybody trying to make a little bit of money. I get that, but unfortunately, it it makes people think like you that you need all this equipment, you need to spend all this money, and when when we got to remember it's a plant, right? All it needs is a little bit of light and some water, some food. I mean, like there's nothing extravagant about it. It's a weed. It's gonna grow. You need to just get in and start growing so that way you can learn how to do it. And I tell people don't go out and buy all this equipment because what if you actually don't like it? What if you start growing and go, you know what? This just isn't for me. You're not out thousands of dollars. You know, it's real easy. People get caught in that loophole. And I hate to see this, but you can go right to Marketplace and you can find all the used equipment because there are those people that spend all that money and then realize they don't like growing or they don't have time to grow or they think it's too expensive to grow or whatever it is.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of subscribers on YouTube, and I fell into the same hole of thinking more subscribers they got, more sponsors they got, those must be the guys I need to listen to. And unfortunately, that's not the case.
No, right. 'Cause they had look, I had like a $4,000 list of the things that I have to get in order to start growing. Do you know how fucked up that shit was? I was like, yo, well, school of crafts told me, yo, Duke, all you need a cheap light or whatever, decent light. You don't even
Yeah,
need a big light. It depends. First of all, just know what you want to do. Are you trying to make some money? Are you trying to just smoke? Are you just
yeah,
trying to what? He broke it down, so I said, I know what I want to do since he said
it's
that.
simple. The first thing you need to figure out is how much you need that you consume that
Talk
you're
to
going
me.
to need to keep yourself in supply. You
Tell
know,
them.
you figure that out and you can grow that much. And I usually recommend grow a little bit more because once you start growing, I don't know about some people, but the more weed I have, the more I'll smoke. You know, like I can get away
Right.
with smoking fucking 3 gram joints fucking 4 or 5 times a day, no problem. You know, like the more you end up smoking. So
Like you
figure
said,
out what you
like
need and scale up a little bit more than that. And then, once you get into your perpetual and you figure out efficiency and things like that, you're going to have more weed than you need. So, a buddy needs a bag here and there or whatever, like, then that door is open. But don't
right,
get into it thinking you're going to make money because that's not what you should be thinking. Your
right.
first thought should be the money I'm going to
To
make
save.
is the money that I save not buying weed.
Right. And a lot of people get the wrong idea of this. I guess that's why a lot of people end up falling off because they get into it for the wrong reasons.
Yes,
And they wind
yes.
up putting themselves in a rabbit hole. Like for instance, when right now you just said something, I didn't let the person know, but I kept it to myself. But it was how they was explaining to me how they was growing not too long ago, and they just threw out an equipment, and I was like, "Oh, you was growing, bud?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was growing." And so I act dumb. I play dumb, like I don't know, you know. And he was like, "Yeah, I just threw out an equipment a couple months back outside." You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me he spent 1,300, right, and he couldn't get a plant to grow, so he just threw it away. I was like, "Damn, I wish I came across the garbage that day." You understand? Because I would have taken it. You understand? But I
Right.
didn't tell him anything. But I would say to myself, so he would say, what did he say? He said, "Oh, I bought all this shit because I was watching YouTube and they said this is you need all this to grow the plant." But honestly, that shit need a lot of fucking caring, a lot of shit, and I don't know nothing about it. So I was like, damn, that shit is easy. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
make it out to be something it's really not. You know, it's a plant. It's a
he
weed
threw away at
plant.
$1,300 in equipment,
Mm,
bro. I wish I came
yeah,
across that.
that's unfortunate. I wish I would have came across him before he threw his equipment out because I'll bet you he'd still be growing.
Yeah,
Look, I like
like
helping people, but I'm not gonna fluff you. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it does you a ill service if I sit here and tell you you're doing good when you're not. And maybe my approach is a little fucking harsh at times, but I want you to remember what I'm saying. If I sit here and go, oh yeah, maybe you're doing a little bit of this too much, you're gonna go on the next stream and the next stream, and you're gonna forget everything I told you. But if I kick you in the nuts, it's gonna sting all day long, and you're gonna be thinking about it. You're gonna be like, damn. I look at his plans, I look at everybody else's plans, I listen to what they're saying versus what he's, and it's like maybe there is something to what he's saying. Whether you like me or you don't, I just want you to get better. I just want everybody
listen,
to grow good wheat and not have to go to the dispo and not have a pile of equipment sitting in the corner of the room that you don't need anymore.
you know
Because
what's the
that's
problem?
money.
People just don't like to listen. People just want to do what they want to do. Just listen, soak into some information, and know how you're gonna come in. You know what you're gonna do. I had a plan already. I was doing all the research with everybody. You understand? And I was looking, okay, how do I grow? Because when I first was doing research, I thought that I had to buy soil, then I had to buy all. So I didn't. I was actually about to put everything in one thing, when in reality is you have hydroponic and like cocoa. So I thought I had to buy cocoa pro mix and there's all this other thing and mix all this other stuff up. I was just gonna make a big mess. But listening to you and other people and making sure I got all the right information. Everybody that made sense to me that I felt it was real, I put that in a note, in a piece of paper. I was like, okay, I like him. He said this, he said that. I wrote that. So I listened. I just didn't go crazy. So when I did this mixing, the soil and all that, I've been watching and listening for so long. I felt, remember, I was telling you in the show, I feel like I could do this. I could do this because I was so anxious, but I would just worry about the budget because I had a budget of almost $4,000 with these YouTubers trying to sell me equipment. And I was like, damn, I don't need all that shit. They trying to sell me
I've
shit for
been
me to, I'm not trying to sell weed.
I've been growing
I'm
weed for
trying to
10
smoke.
like over 10 years, and I haven't spent $4,000 on grow equipment yet in 10 years.
Yeah. I'm not trying to start a market. I just want to smoke my weed. I just want to grow, smoke, save, and that's
I
it.
just want to grow my own medicine and not have to worry about buying whatever is put on the market. I mean,
I
I
want
mean
to
that's
party with my weed.
it's right. I mean, we all like to grow our own weed too, to show off a little bit. You go to a buddy's house, like, you're still buying dispo weed here. Check this out. Like, I
Yeah.
grew this. They're like, what? You grew what? Like, that makes you feel good. I mean,
Hey, now that you say that, my brother came over and I never showed him. He always come, and he'd be like, "Yo, what's in there?" I'd be like, "Oh, nothing." But he's not a brother who keeps like, "Oh, let me see." Like he'd be like, "Oh, all right." So he's one of those people, so I don't have to worry about him. So he came, he came in last week, and he's like, "Yo, but what is it that you got there? Because I be coming all the time. You got that for like what, like 3 months or whatever, 2 months in there? What's that?" I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna show you." He was like, "Get the fuck out of here." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Bro, you nice." I was like, "You think so?" But being that that's my brother, I was capping with him. I was like, "Man, you know I'm nice, bro. This is what I do." He like, "You don't do this shit." But just fucking with him, we just had a good time. He's like, "Yo, bro, you don't even know. You could grow all the weed you want. Like, you don't even have to go look for weed from nobody." I was like, "Right." He said, "I know you got me." I said, "Of course, you my brother."
yeah, and that feels good to be able to do that. When you get a point to where you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of people that I know at this point that are like, man, I think I'm going to take a break. I got so much weed stocked up. And I'm like, why? Just keep it rolling. Okay. Like, because once you get an abundance of weed, there's so much more you can do. You can then, get into pressing a lot of it. You can get into washing it, making hash. You can get into making edibles. You can get it, like, there's so many options.
Yeah, I would just worry about the watering and stuff like that and just listening to
Watering,
you.
in my opinion, watering is one of the biggest problems people have in the beginning. And because it's one of those things that, like, it's really hard to teach somebody how to water over a phone through the internet. Like, if you're not actually there seeing what's going on and being able to feel the weight of the pot,
Yeah,
to look at shit, it's really hard. I can sit here and say, don't overwater, don't underwater. Like, I mean, but you're going, okay, well, how do I not do that? And I can sit here and say, well, pick up the pot when it's light, you need water. Well, what's light to you might not be light to me. So that's just a thing that you kind of got to pick up and learn as you do it.
yeah,
Soil, you don't have to water as often. I mean, cocoa, you're going to have to water more. Hydroponics, it's already in water and air. So, I mean, the soil is, in my opinion, one of the hardest ways to grow because, especially for new growers, because the watering, you got to figure out your watering, and soil is a lot slower. So a lot of people don't calculate that. They think, man, my plant's growing slow. I must need more nutrients. I must need to water it more. I must need to. They want to love it to death to try to get it to grow faster, and that only hurts the plant.
yeah.
But
I
that's how
tell
you learn.
everybody, listen, like, I don't know. I tell, like, me, I'm not, well, I recommend to anybody who want to grow, they don't know about what, look, right here, use these little things and you will be all right, little by little. They're babies, just take this, lightly around turkey baster, not too much water, blah, 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 blah. As they start maturing up, sled, blessings, thank you for coming by. Throw a little shot glass, give them two shot glass. Then you come here, you know, and then you just little by little, they're gonna talk to you. You're gonna see them drying out. Don't let the soil dry out. I was listening to what you were saying. Dehydrating. That's one thing I went through. The soil dehydrated on me. They wasn't getting the nutrients they were supposed to suction take in because the roots wasn't going any deeper because the soil in the bottom was because I underwater. So I said, okay, now I realize this is the time when they drink more water and they drink it more heavier. So I had to boom. And then I was feeding them thinking that they need to be fed, but it wasn't that. It was they wasn't drinking water enough because it was being underwater and um
So, so
I
what
had too
happens
much light.
when you underwater? What happens is any of the salts or any of the food that's in dries out, right? So once you rehydrate that and that food or salts gets rehydrated, it's extremely high concentrate at that point. So
Yeah.
when you rehydrate it and rewater, those roots just instantly get just bombarded. And so it's really easy to burn the plants that way. Not that you got too much food in it. It's just that the food wasn't allowed to stay moist enough to continue to
Right.
do what it needs to do.
And that's exactly what it did. Like what you're saying makes sense. So this is what I did as a new beginner. As a beginner. So I got 2 buckets here. 1, 2. So I got 4 pots of 5 gallons. So I said, what's going to be the best way for me to bring my ppH down a little? Because also my thing was off. This was off.
Oh,
So I messed up on the on the pH. I messed up on the
for,
pH.
see,
This
here's
was
the
off.
thing about soil, because you're in soil. It's what people need to understand with soil. Soil pH just needs to be in a range. Because in soil, the pH is going to change to uptake what the plant needs to uptake. So in soil, as long as you're like between, I would say between 6 and 6.57, you're going
7.
to be all right because it
Right.
will change. You know,
It'll
I know
drop
a lot of
lower
people are like,
on
"Oh
its
my God,
own.
look at the scale. The scale says I have to be here to hit all these numbers. At the most best and blah 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 blah." But in soil, that'll all change. It's like don't look at that chart. Just remember in soil that thing it'll change the pH in the soil to uptake what it needs. That's the great thing
Correct.
about soil.
But we gotta let them know that it depending how far off. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, as
Because
long as you're
I
in
was
the
on a I was in the 8 in the going
oh
to
yeah, you
9.
don't yeah, you
So I
don't
had
that's
to.
way too high.
So yeah, so I started seeing. I said, "Wait a minute, let me just do this." So I took those buckets instead of flushing in the beginning. I dunked them in these buckets. So I put water like up to here. So when I dunk it in there, it just like, and then I took and I read it. I checked the ppm, the pH, and everything. Everything was dumb high. I was like, "Holy shit!" So I did that a couple times with in a flush, and she started coming back up right. Um, Nothing, no other problem with that. So I left her alone, and I gave her one more feeding, but I didn't give her full feeding this time. I brought the I brought it down to 11 900, and then one was like 800. So I just gave them like a little scoops, a little feeding of a little bit of whatever, just to give it time and bring it up because I know she's taking more. And I checked it, and now they all good. They all in range right there. So I was like, fuck. But you know what it is? Uh, I like to have everything going accordingly to what it's supposed to be.
And
So I'd rather
in
keep
soil,
myself
also, you really gotta watch what size pot you're in for the size
right.
plant. Because realistically, you're going to want to saturate the soil every time. You want to make sure that's good and saturated so you don't have wet and dry spots in the
Dry
soil.
spots.
Because, the water goes to least restriction, resistance. So if you create a channel for the water to reach all the way down to the bottom, it's going to try to go for that channel every single time. That's the problem with watering super fast, right? You got to make sure everything's slowly getting saturated evenly or otherwise you can put a gallon into a 5 gallon and get a tons of runoff, but not be completely saturated. Because there's also what we call false runoff. That's just caused by watering too fast. The water runs down the side of the pot. It'll find a channel in this middle of the pot. It'll all run, and it'll do that every single time you water until you start getting it fully saturated.
Yeah. I use this. I water it nicely all around evenly,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
would say a
and then I
pump sprayer
switch up.
is probably a new grower's best friend for watering. A pump sprayer.
This what I use has been it's been my buddy ever since. Because now I could more or less see, okay, and I don't know. I mean, everybody, being that I'm new, I'm just trying to get a habit, trying to develop a habit of knowing. So what I do is, as I water with the pump spray, I got it set up at a certain way of how much water releases. So I count 30 seconds on one pot, let it sit. 30 seconds on the next one, 30 seconds on the next one, 30 seconds on the next one. You know, I just go round, 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 round. Then I know they all got enough. Where I started is where I end. Then I fill it up maybe a little halfway again, and I do it again, and that's it. But the soil, everything around it is wet evenly and stuff like that. That's how I've
It's
been doing it.
important.
So that's been working for me
Well, it's
until I
important.
get better.
A lot of times people don't fully saturate their media, and they'll start noticing tip burn. Well, the tip burn isn't caused always by food, too much food. The tip burn is showing you that you're probably either rotting the tips of your root hairs or you're drying the tip of your root hairs out. That'll also show in the tip of your leaves because what happens below happens above. So
Mm.
what you're seeing happening on your plant has already been happening in your root system.
Oh, what?
So you got, yeah, everything that happens in your root system, you're going to notice in the top of your plant. Healthy roots, you got really healthy plants. You know, dried out roots will show leaf tip burn. Oversaturated, rotted will show, you'll see the leaves are droopy. You know, a good way of knowing overwatering is where the leaf is drooping, but the main stem for that leaf is still standing up. That is because the leaf has so much water in it and it's so saturated with water, it's so heavy that it has to just flop over. Now, when you see a leaf that the leaf is drooping, stem is drooping, that's underwatering
Underwater.
because neither one have a
Right. I think your mic went off. Or probably the internet. Where he at? Just give him a second, fellas. He'll be back. I think he probably went on mute. You probably muted yourself, School of Crop. Why is pump spray good for watering? Oh, good question. Um, I don't know, but me as a beginner, why
you pick one of those. There you go.
why pump spray is good for watering? To me, I don't know. I feel
Pump
like it
sprayer,
works evenly all around, but I don't know if it's good or not. To me,
yeah,
it's just working.
pump sprayer is good because you get more of an even mist around all of it,
Yes, that's what I
and
meant.
it forces you to water slow.
Yes, and they drink it nice and slowly.
When you go in there with a cup of water and you just start dumping around, it's not really that even, and it's a lot of water, that creates pockets everywhere. So, I mean, with the mister, you just kind of mist around and you mist around, and it evenly does it, and it forces you not to water super fast.
Hey, School of Crops, you just say creates pockets. What are those? What is that? I'm
Well,
familiar.
like when you water with a glass of water, it's enough pressure that it moves the dirt around, so you end up with big holes and different spots at the top of the soil and
Oh,
stuff like that. And, it just for me it looks like shit.
okay,
I like a nice
okay,
even, you know.
okay, okay, okay. Got it. Understood.
And when you water, see, some people don't understand this. When you water soil, especially, I know more about soil. I'm doing cocoa now and I'm still kind of learning. But with soil, air comes in when you water, right? It pulls air down into the roots. So that's where it's really important to water evenly because you're wanting air to pull through the whole thing evenly. You know, I mean, there would be a lot of times that you'll see like fuck, this side of the plant looks really good and stuff like that, but why are these branches over here on this side of the plant be all funky? It's because the roots controlling that side of the plant are are more than likely either overwatered or underwatered. That's where saturation is really important, but it's important to be in the right size pot. You know, because you can be, say, you take a little clone that's only a couple weeks old, put it in a 5-gallon pot. Now, if you were to fully saturate that pot with that little plant, that thing will probably stay wet for a month. Well, once you hit 3 weeks, you start borderlining overwatering because they never were allowed to dry back and get air. You know, because after time, they're so wet, there's no way for anything to get air in there. I mean, you'll sit there wet for so long that just naturally it'll just start rotting the roots.
You know, I have a
So that's
question.
why it's
Being that
important to
I'm
be in the right size pot.
look, I have a question. Being that I'm so new to this, perlite, right? Like, what does that perlite do that is very important in the soil? Like, what is it like? Because
Perlite, what perlite does is perlite allows airspace, right? Because depending on the soil when it gets wet or dry can get really hard and compact together, right? Which makes it really hard for air to move through it. So the perlite gives you air pockets. It gives you something, you know, because nothing's gonna stick, you know, the water ain't
uh,
really gonna absorb into it or nothing. But it gives you like a filler that gives you
okay,
space, gives you aeration.
okay, understood. So they could travel through the soil. They got space to
And
move.
even in soil, I mean, even in soil, you wanna be wet and you wanna be dry. You wanna be wet, you wanna be dry. The problem with soil is it doesn't dry out as fast as the other mediums. So that's where people are like, well, I should be able to water more water, you know, like and overwatering isn't the amount of water you give it. Like if you have a 1 gallon pot, you can go in there literally and pour 5 gallons of water through it. It's only going to hold so much, right? It's only going to hold
Right,
so much until it's saturated. The rust is going to just run through it. The problem
right,
people have is they think they can water a little bit every day. And that's not the way to do it. Because one, again, you're going to end up having dry and wet spots because you're not fully saturated. And then the spots that are getting wet too frequently. And that's what causes the root rot. They need to dry out a little bit. They do need to get dry back. You know?
thank God I always let these babies dry out. Like,
But there's a
they
sweet spot, right? I mean, that's one
I
of
do
those things
four
you got to
days
figure out.
sometimes. I max them out sometimes 4 days. There's times I max them out. I'm not gonna lie to 5 days, you
Yeah.
know. But I just throw a little mist on top of the soil so they don't get like dehydrated. But the plant, you know, it needs water. So by the 5th day, I'll be seeing those things sometimes dropping low, real sad. Be like, I'm a feeder now. But as soon
You
as I
want
give her
the
water, she'll kick up fast. So.
you want the roots to grow, right? So if they're always wet in one spot, not only are they going to rot out, but they're going to be lazy because they don't have to search out for water or nutrients because it's always right there, right? So what
Oh,
ends
it's
up
search of
happening?
water what
What?
makes them grow, you say?
Yeah, well, they need to stretch out. They need to, you need to make them stretch, and the roots look for water, right? So when they get that dry back, they're going to start stretching out. They're going to be looking around for water. They're going to be looking around for air. They're going to be, but if you constantly are overwatering, what happens is you get what they call elephant foot right at the trunk of the plant. it'll get huge and knotty and big, and it looks like a big giant elephant bush. It's because it stays wet too long right there. The roots didn't have a chance to spread out, grow. They don't have a chance to do nothing on their own. You're basically just constantly just feeding them, feeding them, water, water, water. You're rotting them out and you're making them lazy. They'll just stay right there.
Oh,
You've got to encourage them to stretch out. That's why, in my opinion, it's being in the right size pot. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, no, the root bound, the root bound, the root bound." I mean, I've got huge plants in 2 gallons. I mean, in my opinion, what root bound is basically when the plant gets so old in a pot that there really isn't where the soil goes. I don't know. I don't know where it goes, but basically the roots consume everything to where you just have to up pot or you're watering way too much.
yes.
So is that
Right.
root bound? I guess you could call it root bound, but realistically, if you wanted to go in, if the plant dried out in a day and you wanted to water it every day and it was drying out properly in that size pot, you could keep doing that. It doesn't mean it's root bound. You're just gonna have to water it a lot more. And so, that's why I like to get a plant. So what I was taught was you don't want to transplant a plant until you got it trained out. And it's the size that the canopy is the size of the next pot. Right? So
Right.
when you go to put it in there, the roots aren't going to be the same size as the pot, but the canopy will be really wide. So when you put it in the next size pot, there's going to be a lot of room for the roots to stretch out. But when you look down at the pot and you look at the plant from the top, you don't see the pot. There's no, you don't see dirt. And what that does is you're always assuring that the light is getting to the canopy and you're not lighting up the dirt, because there's no point of lighting up the dirt.
Right.
I wish I had a couple. I would show you a couple plants. I just threw away a bunch of plants because I had too many. So like a plant can
Yeah.
get really big, really. I mean, when you're in a cup, you should be focusing on your rooting stage and some training, right? So that way, when you go into that, when you transplant into the 1 gallon, 2 gallon, whatever you're going to do, according to the right size pot for the plant, when it goes in there, they just blow up. They really do. They just like, oh my God, more room, more, the roots just spread out. And once the roots spread out and start growing like crazy, the plant just grows like crazy.
But my
There's not a
question is,
lot to it. There's really
could you
not.
grow could you grow the same quality in a smaller, let's say from a 5 gallon to a 3 gallon? Would you still
Yeah.
get the same growth on a 3 gallon that you
Look,
know?
yes. I mean, you can grow. I grew 21 plants in a 2x4 in quarter gallons. You'll get the
Uh-huh.
same quality out of that as you will. That just is going to determine your plant or your veg time, right? Because
Okay.
veg time is plant count.
Okay.
The more
I
plants,
realize that.
the less veg, because it's going to take less time to fill the space.
Yes.
The longer the veg is less plants, because it's going to take you longer to train those plants to fill the whole space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to determine your pot size and everything. I like doing smaller plants in smaller containers. I can save. I mean, I personally think people go overboard and they really waste their medium. I think people are in way bigger pots than they need to be in. That's why they're able to reuse their soil. Like realistically, when you're done and you harvest and you pull that root out of the pot, there really shouldn't be anything left for you to reuse. That's how you know you were in the right size pot and you didn't waste soil. I mean, you shouldn't be able to
Okay. I'm gonna
pull that
keep that
out of
in
there and
mind.
shake it off and have half the pot still of soil left, because that's to me that's a waste. You could have did it with less, right? So once you start learning how less you can do it with, that's where efficiency comes in, and you start going, wow, I pulled
Wow.
5.5 pounds out of a 2x4 tent last year, and it only cost me $5 an ounce to grow it.
Wow. You know what's crazy? You talking makes me wonder and think how many growers out there are just wasting soil?
Uh, I- yeah, I mean,
Like
and I
that's a
know
good question, right? Don't you think? How many people that
I
consider
I
themselves
know
as
people. I mean,
great
you see it.
growers
I see
wasting
it all the
soil?
time. Here, let's see if I can flip this camera around and I'll show you. Oh, I might need to turn the light on. Yeah, let me turn the light on. And people think, oh, it's a huge plant. I got to water it every day. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Just because it's big, don't mean. I mean, I don't mean that you got to water it every day. Okay, look, here's a 2-gallon pot. It's a
Wow.
small little fucking. This is just a small little pot. But when you go up and you start looking at the plant and you start
Whoa.
going, holy shit,
What
that's
the
root bound, right?
shit?
No, this thing only still gets water only every other day, and it's by the window.
Yo, hold up. Yeah.
I
How the
mean,
hell you do that shit?
it's by the window. Yeah, is it right now? It's not really veg light, so it was trying to go into flower, but I don't give a shit. It's just a house plant at this point. It's sitting by the window. There's no lights,
Oh Lord.
and it's in a 2-gallon pot. So people, yeah, people definitely use way too much medium. I mean, I don't know. It can't get much simpler now.
Yeah, I like that. That was nice. That was dope. Oh shit, what the fuck happened? Oh, here we go. Here we go. My bad. I didn't know. Wow, that was dope. That was great.
I
Yeah.
basically keep that plant around now just to show people, like, look, by the
Yeah, I
window
seen
light.
that. I think
So
you showed me that plant smaller, right?
yeah,
Or
it
the
was
plant.
smaller before. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. How much light does a plant really need? I think we get wrapped up in the manufacturers, and they're telling us, oh, we got to have this, we got to have more. So we spend more money when less is more. Less is more. I mean,
I keep
look,
hearing that. Less is
I did the
more.
test. I did a test because I have two by four tents. So I take clones, freshly rooted clones, put them in 1 gallons, put them under the light for 7 days, 18.6, then flip them to 12.12. The other tent, I took same clothes, same type of clothes. I topped them once or pinched the top out of it, not a true full top. Uh, I put them under 18.6 for 14 days. I added a week because of topping, pinching, and that was 6 plants topped, 10 plants untopped. The plants that were bigger because they were topped got 60 grams each. The other plants got 40 grams each. But because I didn't top them, I was able to put more plants in there at a time. So my yield was way more. So I got more yield with smaller plants in less time.
I got
So
me some
less
tools.
is more.
Remember, I was telling you how I ordered my stuff from Amazon, little shears for the clipping. So I came with a little set of gloves. I got this from Amazon. Yeah. you know, because little by little, I don't have everything, so I work with the little bit I got. So now, next time when it comes to pruning and doing things like that, I'll do a better job. This one is kind of
As you
tough.
start doing it, you'll find little things that might make things a little easier, or
Has a little lock in it.
might automate things a little bit. But that's all that is. That has nothing to do with you, the grower. You,
Right,
the grower, needs to learn how to grow before you start trying to add things that are going to help you out down the road. You know what I mean?
right,
Like
right.
people
And
micro focusing on BPD and not understanding that dew point really is a more accurate way of measuring things. But I don't get into that with people because
I keep this
a lot of
around.
people think I'm an asshole, and that's okay. I'm
Nah,
okay
but
with
it's
that.
cool.
You know,
But they probably get upset when you tell them the truth. That's what it probably is.
well, they
They
don't
don't want
like
to
me
hear it.
because I shit on their coupon codes, right? Because I tell people that, hey, you don't need to go use that code. You don't need that.
Look, right now, the light, the she has grown already uh like 4 inches. She's 17 inches away from the light. I don't think the light is causing any damage. So I'm gonna leave it just like that. I don't got it high because I still got the other plants still behind, a little behind trying to catch up. But I don't see the light causing any damage. So I'm just gonna leave it like that because I'm looking at the turds and I don't see no burns or nothing, nothing that they're looking
Well,
right.
and you
So
might not see a burn. You got to look at your leaves. Like the leaves will tell you. Like if
yeah,
you put your light at a certain spot, and over time, if you notice the leaves are drooping away, and you know that they're not overwatered or underwatered, if they're drooping away, then they're trying to get away from the light, right? If they're praying super hard, they might be trying to get more light. They might need more light because they're
right.
moving their solar panels up as far as they can, close to the light to try to pull it, or otherwise the leaves are drooping down, trying to hide from the light. Right? They either try to hide or they try to get more, and that doesn't necessarily show in like a burn or nothing like that. You just gotta, and you'll learn that. You'll learn that by watching the leaves. You'll be
Right
like,
now
yeah,
they got water, so I understand the fact that they're gonna be a little droopy. They just got water not too long ago, like a few minutes before I started the live. So they coming right back up. So I see them coming back up. I'm fine with it.
well, and you'll see, if they're laying flat,
Yeah,
then you're good. The light should be good.
yeah, they're doing great. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this little thing I got going on. I never had a tent. I never done any other.
Well, and I mean, it could always be better, but this is your
This
first
is
throw.
dope.
It's your
This is
first fucking
dope.
time. So, you got to get your feet wet. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah, and then I'm really impressed with this because I'm gonna top this when I hit the sixth note. I'm gonna top it, but hopefully I get a fluorescent light before anything because I don't want it to flower. I want to see if I could hold on to this for as long as I can to see if I could get some clones out of it. You
Yeah,
know?
all you need for that is like a little. I mean, look, at Walmart, they got LED lights. They're kind of long, but they're 4 footers, but they're like $20 and they're
That's
50
cool.
watts. They're like shop lights.
I seen somebody throw. Man, I should have took it, but
I'll show you what they look like. I got one in it. I need to move this tin around, but I got one in it tin
I
with
should have
plants
took
right now.
it.
One, 50-watt light.
Oh, that's the light for that only?
Yeah, that's this light from Walmart.
That's only for veg, right? It's go only for veg, right?
Yep, just for veg.
That's perfect. I could put that in the closet, right?
Right, as long as the closet's it's 4 foot long light. But I mean, but
Yeah.
how much light do you need? I mean, like,
No, I don't need much light. That's perfect just for
that's
little
what I'm saying.
clones.
I mean, some people be like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get root bound. You're gonna get root bound." No, you're not. How do you know? For newbies, clear cup. Clear cup
Oh yeah, I got
and a
them two
red
here.
cup.
Look. I got them here. Look, I got them here for that. Cause that's how I'm gonna do my next clones. So I don't have to
I
go
know
through that.
people laugh at it, but it gives the new
Ah.
grower a chance to watch the roots and see what's going on.
I like that. I'm in the right path. I'm in the right path. Thanks, man, for showing me that. Yo, that's exactly what I'm doing. My plans. Oh man, cause I could see the roots and everything. I was like, yo, I want to be able to see the roots, but if I cover the roots with other cup, it would still grow and I would still be able to see the roots. So I like the fact that you just showed me that because I'm in the right path.
Yeah, I mean, that way you can get an idea of watering as well. Because you can water a cup, leave it alone for a while, go back in there, pull it up, look through the clear cup, and go, wow, you'll see the dry spots, you'll see wet spots, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you don't fully saturate. You'll see
So
it.
question, this is stretch. This is what people call stretchy, right? This is stretchy. She's a little
Uh,
stretchy right here, right?
yeah, yep.
Okay. Because
Because here's the
normally she's more than an inch.
but the problem you're gonna have is the top will never stop growing to allow the bottom to catch up.
Right.
Once you get that far apart, you almost have to just strip the bottom because that's never going to make the top. And it's going to, yeah, everything below that's got to go because that
Yup.
stuff's never going to make it to the top.
Never.
And, and all it's doing at this point is sucking stuff from the top.
Okay.
Like they're almost suckers, like on a tomato. Those little shit that you pull out of the little armpit of the tomato, they're just little suckers. You don't want them fucking.
But
But
this
yeah,
plant, I have a question. I just want to know if my thinking is correctly. All right. If I was to top this, I could only top here or here, right? I can't top this, right? This is not topping space, right?
no, no, no.
Okay. I just wanted
About
to
the only thing
understand
you
that.
could do with that right now to try to slow shit down and encourage side branching would be you just pinch that very top out, that little first pinch out the top. And what that'll do is it'll encourage the side branches to start growing out there up top. Because
Okay.
sometimes you get a strain that'll just grow straight up, and you're like, "Fuck, where's the side branches? Like, what the fuck?" Well, all the apical meristome at the top of the plant is taking everything. So it's just shooting everything straight to the top. Sometimes you have to knock that off to get it to promote the growth to come out the sides.
There go
And
my
doing
boy
that really
Liquid.
early really, really helps.
Okay. So I'm a
That's
new
gonna be a
grower.
lot of
You
information. A lot of
you
information in one line.
right. Yo. So being that I'm a new grower, I understand what's stretchy now. Now I know what's stretchy. So to prevent a plant from stretching, I will have to have it closer to the light instead of too far from a light, right? That's what
Yes and no.
that's what caused it.
Overwatering can also cause you to stretch.
Oh, for real?
But I don't think it's overwatering because
Okay.
overwatering will also cause you to get the purple stripes and to get purple stems. And
So
those
more
still
or
look
less,
green. So
the stretching was from the light because she was too far away from the light.
yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So would this still be a good plant to use to grow on
But
or
look,
should,
I'll be honest with you. You know what I would do with that? Like I said, I would strip the bottom stuff off. I would add a little more soil in that cup
okay.
and I would just let it go. I would probably pinch the top, let it go. And then when I transplant it into a bigger pot, I would bury the legs some.
So okay, I get what you're saying. I get the point. Put a little deeper in.
Yeah, you could
So
strip the bottom, pinch the top, add a little more soil, and watch the branches grow out the sides.
all right, all right, all right. So these 4 notes right here, these 2 notes right here, well,
Yeah, that
these
stuff
four
at the bottom at this point is just gonna
gone.
just suck. Yeah, they're just gonna suck stuff away from the
Got
top.
it.
What's up, Lit? What's up, buddy?
I just don't want this bitch to go to flower yet.
No,
That's
as long as you
good.
got it under, I mean, just make sure it's over 12 hours of light. You should be fine.
Yeah, when the lights go off for her, for them in here, I take her out from there and I put her by the window for whatever
Yeah,
light we got left, 2 hours of light left, and then in the morning I take her out and she be right there. Then when the light really
a,
fully comes, I'll put her back in here.
a plant that size doesn't need like a lot of
Much light.
wattage of light. They just need the time of light, right?
The time.
So even a 25 watt, little 25 watt T5 will do 5 clones. That's enough for 5 clones, you know. So until they get to a certain point, I mean, and then
That light won't do it, right?
people forget also,
I
like,
I could keep it
you
next
can
to that
give your
light.
plant you can give your plant tons of light, right? But if you're not upping everything else, if you're not giving it more food and you're not giving it more, air, you're not giving it more CO2, I mean, there gets to a point where everything works together. And if you're only trying to give it a lot of one thing, that just won't work. It won't work. Because if you're giving it a lot of light, you're creating a lot of energy to the plant. Well, if there's not enough food for the energy to be able to work, then the plant's going to have a struggle. It's just going to struggle.
Yeah, you have to know a
And you
lot
get to
of.
a point where you're giving a lot of light, a lot of food, but guess what? You don't have enough CO2. That doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen.
Right,
You, because you have the growth space right there where you do, you won't have to worry about CO2. There's plenty of CO2 from you breathing, the kids breathing, the dogs, everybody in there breathing is going to be enough.
right. I've been doing pretty good
And
so
these are
far.
all just this is just all based on my experience of growing. Nothing that I'm telling you right now isn't like something I found on the internet. This is from my experiences. So I'm
Right.
not going to tell you something that I read on the internet because
I
if I've
mean,
never done it before, I don't know if it works.
I mean, you will have more experience than a lot of people now because a lot of new people, the experience came from the internet. You know, you've
Yeah,
been around longer, so your experience been hands-on from the beginning before socializing with other people or the cultivators on social media. So you really have the knowledge. That's why
just from doing it, right?
I don't
I've just
follow the people that's just searching that just tell me stuff off the internet. Now I want to know.
and I'm not, and I'm not saying that people should watch people that push a code or something like that because some of those guys are just fine. The code's there. You just ignore it if you don't want to buy the product. Once you realize you don't need that, yeah, you don't need it. Whatever. You want to support the guy and you need a new light, use the code. If you don't need a new light, don't let them talk you into a new light. You know?
Right, right. Yeah. So now I know just to veg, I don't need that much of expensive light. Like my boy Wick too be telling me, yo, you don't even need that much of, or you just need a regular light. But I just didn't get. But I'm gonna order a little small light so I could put them in there and I could start doing my little clones and keep my little clones. And I want to get a little small tent. I'm trying to figure it out how I'm gonna do this, but I want to get a small tent for the
Now would be the
cloning.
time to do it because of the 420 sales.
Yeah, right.
So do the 420 sale and use somebody's code and stack them. That's fine. I'm not saying don't use people's codes, but in my experience, the people that are really pushing codes aren't on the level that I want to follow their grow advice. They're not. They're more into building a grow room, getting people to buy all this expensive equipment and doing all this stuff. And it's like, there's either you got growers or you got builders. Usually, I mean, not very often do you find a builder that's a super good grower. because they're too micro focused on building shit.
Marketplace.
You know? Yeah, marketplace is a good place that people are quitting growing all the time. What I found with marketplaces, people think that their used equipment is still worth what they paid for it, and it's not. It's like a car. As soon as you drive that off the lot,
That
you
shit
just
lost all the
depreciate
value. You thought, yeah. What
it.
it no longer costs 100,000. Oh, you bought it? Well, you oh nah, man. I'll give you 80,000.
Yeah, like,
70,000.
they're like, oh, I want $200 a light, and it's like, dude, that's only a $220 light. I'm not giving you $200. That's you're looking at the most I would give you on a light like that would be 75, maybe $100, because I don't know what you did to it. You were probably in there with the humidifier blowing fucking humidity all over the light.
Right.
Well, here's the problem with that, and I was going to suggest this to you. You've got to be careful, because if you're blowing that and that's landing on the sides of your tents, I would be worried about it landing inside on the light. Like, will that white residue get into the driver? Will the electricity condensate, whatever, however that's said, will that cause, the lights to not last as long? I don't know. But I don't know. People
So my
micro
question
focus
is,
on
you could run it,
humidity, but
you could
like,
run it a humidifier from the outside of the tent and it could still get humidity?
if you have a hose, I know a lot of them, they have like the fogger hoses where you can
Yeah, I
run
got
them
the
outside.
hose.
But I mean, the mist is still going to be in there. The only
Yeah.
thing you would be able to do, because you have that, is you'd have to start putting RO water in the humidifier. That's the only way to get the white residue from stopping.
What is RO water? You
But
gotta buy that, right?
reverse osmosis, it's basically stripped water that's been completely filtered down to nothing.
You could do that
Like
at
normally
home
when
now,
you
man.
buy a bottle of water, a lot of times when you buy a big jug of water at the store, you'll see it. It'll say reverse osmosis. It'll say, you know, uh, purified water, and then it'll say purified by reverse osmosis. Like, it's a deal you can get, but honestly, I don't micro focus on that shit. My flower tent, when the lights are on, it sits at about 32 to 35% humidity. I don't care. It's gonna
But my thing
fluctuate.
is,
It's gonna go up and it's gonna go down. You know,
but can you
like,
boil water and strip it, or no? Or it's a process. You have to filter that.
yeah, it's gotta be filtered out.
Oh
They,
shit,
they go
man.
through certain filters and shit. But I mean, uh, it's hard. My water's the same way. Like, it's really like heavy in calcium,
Distilled
so
water. What is
it'll
distilled
get
water? What is that?
distilled.
Yeah, what is
Uh,
that?
that's like how they distill alcohol. It's basically
Oh,
done the
okay.
same way. You're gonna just run it through, and it and it takes the gas and then makes it back into a liquid at the end. But everything that was in it is gone. It basically purifies it. It distills it down to where it's just like condensation water. You know what I mean? Like when it rains outside, like your window, when it's warm outside or cold outside and it's wet, you know,
Yeah.
that dew or whatever that runs down the window, that's basically what that causes.
Oh, okay, okay,
Which
okay.
is really clean, which is really good. But I mean, you don't have to micro focus on that if you really don't want to. I mean, I don't know what your humidity is in your tank right now, but I mean, I've never
What?
ran a humidifier in my tent. And I mean, my humidity, sometimes it's gotten down to 27%. Like, I don't micro focus it because I think of like, when I really start trying to micro focus thing, I think of outside,
Hold
right?
up. You said what? You let it go down to like 27%?
Yeah, I've had it go down to 27% before. It fluctuates
So a
depending on how
plant is
dry the
strong
plant
enough
is.
to adapt to an environment.
Sure, as long as you stay consistent, it don't matter. If it drops down a little bit, oh well, it drops down a little bit. Like, it's not, I think of it like this. Who Who controls the humidity outside?
Right. No one. Mother
Nobody.
Nature
Nobody
itself.
controls it. Right. It's always fluctuating. And there's plants grow just great outside. I
Okay, so
mean,
you mean to tell me, okay, so basically, if wow, this is fucking crazy. So you mean to tell me if you could adapt, if you could adapt, get a plant to adapt to a certain temperature consistently, that
yes,
plant will grow strong
yes,
enough to
yes. So
sure.
people talk, check this out. People talk about genetic drift in clones, right?
Holy
There's
shit.
no such thing as genetic drift between clones. What the problem is my environment that I grow in is going to be different than your environment, unless you control it with a bunch of equipment, right? Your
Yes.
environment's going to be different. So what people confuse drift is that clone that I sent you that you're now growing, that's used to growing in my environment, has to get used to growing in your environment. So that's where people get confused. They're like, oh, it must be genetic drift. And it's like, no, it just needs to get used to growing in your environment consistently.
That makes a
And
lot of sense.
again,
It
it's a
needs to
weed
get
plant.
used to
It's a
growing in your
weed plant.
environment.
Instead of micro focusing on BPD, you're better off just being consistent.
So a person like me, being that I got my plants growing at a consistent humidity and temperature, if I was to go way below that, I would destroy these plants because they're not used
Yes,
to that.
you could stress the plant out because now
That's
it's got to readjust itself to whatever you just changed it to.
yeah, that's like when the summer hit, you're not used to it. Wow, in the beginning you be like, holy shit. But once you get used to it, you be like, yo, it's good out here.
Yes, yes. It's the same as you. If you're comfortable, the plant's comfortable.
Oh man.
You'll
It's like
notice,
when I
like, if you were to run these perfect BPD numbers that people are talking about, you would go in your grow room and you'd be like, ugh. You'd be like, ugh, I feel so muggy. And, ugh. You know, like, you wouldn't like it. Well, the plant don't necessarily like that either. But it'll adapt to that if that's the consistency that you keep it at. But in my opinion, you're going to need a lot of equipment to constantly be chasing your BPD to be at the numbers that they tell you should be at.
should be.
But if
Right.
BPD was so great, then why in flower are they going, oh yeah, I don't run the humidity they tell you to run in BPD numbers? Well, why though? Why would you preach BPD during veg, but not want to be at those numbers in flower? If it was so important, it's because it's not. It's not. It's not. Because we're also always measuring ambient air temperature, right? Well, the
Right.
ambient air temperature isn't the same temperature as the plant. Just because it says it's 85 in your grow tent doesn't mean the plant is 85 degrees.
Yes, that I actually yo, I swear, like, that's exactly how I look at this thing. I'm like, okay, it's really 80, but is it really 80 degrees? Because is the cool breeze in there, they're getting proper flow? Is it really 80? Could it be 75 in there? So I just look at it in that way. So I look at my 79 degrees right now. I'd be like, they're around 75 degrees. I drop a few points off.
Yep, yep. It's not a lot, but it's a few degrees. It is. And I think one of the underutilized grow equipment pieces, a piece of equipment that a lot of people don't have and they should, in my opinion, is one of the number one things to have is a temperature gun. A temperature gun you can use to look at your leaf temperature. A temperature gun, like, look, when people go in and they put a seedling mat in underneath their tray and they want to do seedlings and it doesn't have a thermostat, doesn't have nothing, they just plug it straight in. It's important to have a thermostat gun to know what the temperature is inside the tray where the clones are. because the heating mat, say the heating mat gets up to 105. Just because the heating mat's at 105 doesn't mean the temperature inside that tray is at 105. Or say you do have a thermostat and you set it, you say, oh, I want the clones to be at 85 degrees in there. And you set the thermostat at 85 degrees, but you take your thermostat, you take your thermometer gun and you go in there and you check it. It may only be at like 75 because it takes a lot more temperature to get through the tray and everything.
And
So a temperature gun is really important for things like that.
that's exactly what I got. I got what is that? That gun. You check the temperature. So when it says, let's say 79, when I go check with the heat temperature, it says 74 or 75. So I'll be like, okay.
Be quiet. And so when you start looking at leaf temperature, you got to start realizing then, like,
Feel the
okay,
difference from
what
the
are
tank.
you start realizing once you start doing that okay, the root temperature is probably going to be even less because they're kind of moist, you know, and a little bit of moisture in with soil is going to cause the soil temperature to be a little less too. So if your tent hits 85 and your leaf temperature is only 80, then your roots are what? Well, if you got a
Right.
full canopy and it's all shaded down there, it's not getting no light down there, and you got a fan blowing down there, the root temperature could be down to, you know, even way less. So
You know,
I cringe. I cringe when I see people and they run their room at like 75 degrees ambient temperature because I'm going, oof, that means the plant's probably only maybe 70 degrees, maybe even less, depending on how much air movement you got going, you know.
right.
So then if it's only at 75, then I got to think the roots are probably only at 70 degrees, which is fine. But you got to realize once you start thinking that way, that whole VPD thing kind of goes out the window. Like,
Hey, I was told I need to get a VPD and all that stuff, but do I really have to get
wh-
that?
why would they have it? Because
I said,
people.
do I really have to have that? Me.
No, you
Why?
don't. You don't need a VPD gun.
Okay.
I mean, they're nice to have just to see, but you know, I mean, just another one of those pieces of equipment that once you get going and you're doing it, you just want to micro. You know, you're like, oh, let's just fucking. Why not? It's $20. Let's just fucking. You know, but you don't need it to grow. No.
Yeah. You know me. I don't know if I like, but I kind of noticed something that it is a method for me, from my experience, growing in my tent, whether it's open or closed. I when my humidity drop low, I know that's when my plants need water also. When my
Yes,
humidity, that's another thing. When they start dropping, once I see it when they're dropping like 39, the humidity and stuff like that, I be like, oh, them babies is dry. And when I
that's a
do go check, they dry.
yeah, that's a good indication of knowing. But if you're running humidifier in there all the time and it's always staying ambient, you know, it's hard to do that. It's hard to go and be like, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, it dropped a few points. It's probably just because the humidifier needs to kick on, and not thinking about like, no, it's because the plant's not transpiring anymore because
Yeah,
there's nothing for it to transpire because it needs water.
yeah. So that's another way, which it helps me to indicate when things is dry within the soil, you know. And the other thing is that I have you see the temperature in the humidifier, since that you have two thermometer readers. You got the one that comes with the fan and the ones that come with the humidifier. So I set them up 2 points. I mean 5 points away from each other because they are actually not accurate with each other. They're actually 5 points away apart, you know, for you to get a good accuracy. So
Yeah.
what I do is with the ones that the temperature that the ones that read the temperature to the duct ventilation, I got that set on 50, on 50, and then on the dehumidifier, I got it set at 55. You know, so when it reaches 50, I already know the humidifier it reached the level it's supposed to reach. It's not going to pass the whatever, but it's not even 55. But it's just the humidifier is going to say 55, but it's not really 55. So it's actually 50. So that's how I keep it track, and then I just and that's how it just worked for me because
Well,
they give
and
you two different numbers, no matter
chasing
how you do it.
chasing VPDs is in my mind is insane because that just means you have to buy more equipment, right?
Right.
So it's a nice hot summer day, and then now tomorrow it's really super rainy. That's going to change everything, you
Yeah.
know. Like so now you're gonna what? You're gonna one day you're gonna work the air conditioner real hard, and then the next day now you got to work the DU really hard. But now you got to turn the AC on even harder because the DU is causing heat, which is heating everything up. So now you got to have the AC to help cool everything back down, even though it's super rainy outside. And then you got to have you know this running because of that. Like you're just constantly chasing one piece of equipment to another.
Right. And you know, it's crazy because weather, like you just said that too, that plays a major and important
And in my
part to
opinion,
this. In
like,
any environment, I think that
well,
really plays a major and important part.
if you control VPD on a tight scale like that, are you making a strong, healthy plant, or are you babying that plant and basically just
Down by right?
micro? You know,
Oh, all right.
it's not allowed to be a plant and to deal with different environments. It should be able to deal with that. You should be able to have some fluctuations. And the plant just grow through it. You know, if you're
Yeah.
microphones, it'd be like taking a kid and always coddling it, not allowing it to do this. It can't play sports. You're micro focused on not letting it. Oh, I don't want it to get hurt. I don't want it to get hurt. I don't want it to get hurt. Well, that one day that it goes out and plays a sport or something, it's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, you're gonna cry.
I
You're gonna
mean,
be the only big kid crying.
yeah. I mean,
Everybody
you
gonna be,
gotta
yo, what's
allow
going
the
on? Why
plant
is
to
he
be a
crying,
plant.
man?
What's up, chat?
What's going on, chat? Pardon me, man. I'm outside, fellas.
I get to talking, and sometimes I forget that there's a chat.
Yeah, that's you. Like sometimes you can't keep them in too much. You gotta let them grow. You understand? Oh shit, hold on. You gotta let them grow. You know, because if you don't, it, they'll be looking crazy out there. You'll be like, oh man, that's my fault. I ain't allowed them to do this or do that. You know?
Right. You just micro focus. It's almost like, man, you need to get a hobby. You need a hobby just to stay away from the plants. Let them grow. Just let them do their thing.
I gotta lock it because my son. You heard?
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta lock the card because if not, my son takes it, he'll splurge. You heard? He'll kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta lock my card because if not, my son takes it, it's over. He'd be online shopping all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't play. He, he my oldest, he wasn't like that, but the little one, he always pulling one off. I'd be like, yo. I'd be like, But listen, like weather, man, that is crazy how it changes. Cause like
you could have certain days you be like, man, it's nice and hot outside, but your humidity or something is different. You're about what the hell is going on here? You think your equipment is messed up, but it's not your equipment messed up. It's just Mother Nature played a major factor
I
in
mean,
this growth thing. I'm like, oh snap! So you
well,
really need to be on top of this at times. You need to know what you're doing.
chasing equipment is a really bad thing because
It's a bad habit.
it's a efficiency thing, right? Like if you're chasing, it's kind of like the lady that ate the spider to get the fly, right? She ate the fly, and she had to eat the spider. Now she has to eat this to get the spider, and now she has to get this to eat that, and it's just a rabbit hole. You'll just chase it like a snowball, and it just, and then you'll end
Right.
up with quarter ounce of weed out of a 4x4, and you're going, "What the fuck? I did everything right. What's going on?" And it's like you love the plant to death. I mean, it's okay. It happens. I mean, it's the same thing with people that are like, "Oh, I hate this brand of tent because the zippers are junk." And it's like, well, no, the zippers are just fine on every tent. The problem is you're opening that tent 50 times a day. You're working the shit out of that zipper, going and checking on plants that don't need to be checked on.
Yeah, I leave that shit the way I see it. That's the
When
way it stays all
the
day,
lights come
every
on,
day.
I open the tent, to help with temperature. I
Yep.
open the tent up. When its lights go off, I close the tent. I water it when they need it.
That's all I do. Like I just let her do her thing. I give her fresh air from the outside coming in through the windows. I open the side tent also because sometimes I don't need to open both sides of the tent. Also, the wings. I call them
Yeah,
wings.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Sometimes I just open one wing because that's all I need. Because if I open the other one, the humidity is gonna go way too low. So sometimes I just keep it right there, and the humidity just stops. The humidifier do not keep going; it just stops. It keeps it right there at 76 to 45 to 50 humidity. Or drop down
Well,
to 40, no lower than that. And then I don't worry about it. I only
it's
worry
really
about it when it goes to 39. I know the damn plants are dry. For some reason, when it goes down to 39, the plants need water. That's something it works for me. I be like, shit.
because they're not transpiring anymore, right? They're not releasing moisture into the air because they need moisture.
Right.
I mean, it's so simple. Like I could probably teach somebody in one live session. I could go over everything, and then if it was followed correctly, you'd be able to grow because that's how easy it is. It really is.
Man.
It's
And
easy and it's cheap. You should never get to a point where you got to sell part of your harvest to pay the light bill. In my
right.
opinion, you're going backwards. You might as well be buying weed. Mm.
Right, because the whole purpose is to save, and what you're doing is costing you
Right.
more.
The money that you're saving not having to buy weed could pay for everything that to grow it.
Yeah,
Like I was
man.
spending $600 to $1,000 a month. I don't spend near that with electricity and everything. I'm not even close to that per month.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I remember when you was saying, "Yo," and you would say, "Listen, man, you smoke weed?" I said, "Yeah." And I was like, "I smoke like an ounce of weed, you know." And you like what? I said like $1.50. He said, "Dude, you saved that." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Oh, whoa." So you gotta make sacrifices. I made sacrifices. There's times I don't be having no weed.
Well,
And
I
I
mean,
just be like, fuck it, no weed. I'm
it's
growing, I'm
okay
growing,
in the
I'm growing, I'm
beginning.
growing, I'm growing, I'm growing. And
It's
then I
okay
get
in the
some weed with
beginning.
time, but it's not like before, you understand?
Well, and
So,
it's okay in the beginning when you first starting to grow up. You still got to buy a little bit of weed because you don't have it. But the
hey!
problem is people need to be patient in the beginning. You picture get tore up.
They want to eat me up. The neighbor
A
dog.
little, it sounds like a little chihuahua.
Nah, that's my boy right here. He's a veteran.
Oh, right on. Is
Yeah,
he growing?
he got his no. He has a little Chihuahua and a Yorkie. But man, listen, they tough. You heard? It's
Yeah,
like
it's tough.
they veterans too, man. They don't trust nothing that moves, nothing.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah. Look, I'm distant. They leave me alone. And if I say, "Hey, all right, bye, guys," they'll just start flipping at me. Oh, I ain't say. All right, I'm gonna stand back. I'm here. All right, no problem.
They're like, we know you're there.
Yeah, I'm right here. They're like, he keeping me away.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
All right, y'all have a good day. All right, take care.
Anyways, I gotta jump off here. I got shit to do, but I just
Definitely,
wanted
man.
I
I
wanted to jump up and
appreciate
just
you.
chat about growing a little bit with you.
Nah, I appreciate you, man, pulling up, showing up. Man, I really do.
Oh
This
yeah.
is dope. Very fundamental, educational for me, and it just make me want to keep going, going, and going. And I don't need more than what I have. I just might need little basic little things like that, and keep going the right way. Pop being around you guys. You know what I mean? What's
You're
going
already
on,
on
my
the right.
brother?
You're already on the right track.
Good. How you?
Not getting caught up in the equipment game.
18.
You're already on the right track.
Definitely.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. Cheers, chat.
That's one. Uh, what up, my people? What's going down, y'all? My four fellas.
You good?
What's good? What it do? What it do? What it do?
What up? What up, man? How you doing this morning, man?
I'm good. Let me get the Bluetooth headphones real quick. I just stepped out to the store to get something.
Cool. I was hoping I'd catch Crop, man. I was gonna what fucking I was gonna see if he could identify. I'm worried I might have accidentally harmed one of my plants, man. There ain't really no evidence of it yet, but I know I've made enough mistakes now that I'm just waiting for possible balls. It depends on the genetics, I guess. But there was definitely some light cycle, some light leaks, and it's been a wild week, man, with the lights and shit.
Oh man.
That's why I ended
But
up getting that little tent, man. That's why I ended up getting that little tent because I had all that panda film up,
is a two
and
you say the 2x4?
yeah, I got that so I
That's
could keep the
dope.
but I got that just specifically so I could keep the autos that I got going and the little cuttings and shit like that, just so I could.
Great.
It was too much of a light leak with just the panda film. The way I
Right,
mean, the
right.
panda film itself works really well, but the way I hung it, there was still light leaks getting through, man.
Still
So
lightly.
yeah. So now I'm worried that sometimes they harm on that.
You know what you
But
gotta do? You gotta try to seal it from the ceiling. You gotta like make sure that shit is sealed. Put that shit in the ceiling. Cause that's what I wanna do.
for
I
what in the
wanna keep
ceiling?
when you
What you
divide it
mean?
from the thing that when
Oh
you
yeah,
see.
yeah. I had it damn near up in the ceiling, man. I didn't straight up. That's what I should have done. I guess I should have
Yeah,
just straight up
that's what I was trying to
nailed it
teach you
into the
for
ceiling.
on the ceiling. And not
I
even you could
had.
just put Velcro. You could put Velcro on it so you don't have to. You could switch up. You know what I'm
I thought
saying?
about that, bro. I thought about that. But I was like, fuck it, man, and I had it, so we just got the little tent, man, so I could just erase the problem on the spot, guaranteed. Cause it was like a couple of nights, and I'm like, man, this light leaks getting through, and it wasn't like serious light leaks. But with some plants, it doesn't have to be that serious, man. Like some of them harm a lot easier than others.
Yes.
But we'll see. I just let them grow out, and time will tell.
Yo, yeah. I was like, you know what? Let me get up on now, and interact with the people, that's been supporting me. They're showing me
Yeah,
love, and I'm not even kicking it with them. I say I gotta kick it with them, even though I don't got much to offer, anything to give. But hey, a conversation is better than anything. Hey, you know,
yeah,
let's start
yeah.
with
It's
that.
Saturday, man. The wake and bake. Hell yeah.
Y'all, yeah, y'all can pull up, show your plants, show your work.
I got
It's
your
cool.
I got I got your text, and I was like, that's a good ass idea, and it's cool. It's cool that Crop comes through because Crop's got a ton of
Yeah,
knowledge, man. That dude's
yeah.
he really does. He's full of knowledge, man. Like he's one of the dudes that when he talks about growing, I listen on it.
Yo, bro, he he is one of them dudes that got me really to get what I got right away. I said, "Oh, I'm not wasting no time." Because once I spoke with him, he said, "Yo, dude, you wasting time, bro." I was like, "What?" When he told me that shit, that meeting you, man, listen, y'all the best thing I could have ever came across.
Yeah, just
Without you
telling you that
guys,
you didn't need all this
what?
shit.
Without you guys, I swear to God, bro, I still would have been just watching videos, still talking about them. I can't wait to start a grow. Because that's
And
all I
you
was doing.
already,
I
man,
was
you just
watching
had to
everybody's
make it
videos.
jump. Yo, you kind of fucked my head up back in the day. Like when we were on Coach Chat, and you like out of the blue, you said like it was when I first started coming around, and you said like, "Yo, I got like a SC 5000 and a 4x4. Like, am I good, or what else do I need?" Like you asked a question like that, and I was, like I heard it in the chat or whatever, and I was like, nothing, bro. Like you're good. like,
Oh, yeah. Because I didn't know about like, so I was just watching and I was just, and then I went to the site and I was just looking I don't know nothing about specs, but I was like, damn. Um, I'm trying to. My thing is, I love the challenge, bro. Like I swear to God. So I look at this. It's like buying a beat machine or first, you know. I said I don't want to get the most powerful and heavy duty shit, but I want to get something that I could play with, that I could get if I feel like stepping up and going heavier. I came in heavy enough. I know I could hold. I could handle it. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go with the 5,000. You know, because I would like to grow big plants, you know. So I said I'm gonna go with the 5,000. I went with the 5,000, but I really didn't know what the fuck I was really buying or anything like that. I just went with the 5,000 because it say 5,000.
That's a nice light.
I didn't know. I
It's a
don't know
nice,
nothing about it. I don't know if it's the best light or anything. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see. I don't know. I'm not like an expert about lights or nothing like that. But I knew when you said that shit, dude, you got enough. You got enough that you can start growing.
And you
Especially with
said that.
it was winter time too, and it's like, yo, you ain't even got to worry about humidity. Like, it was like 3 months ago. It was before you started and shit.
Yeah, like 4 months ago, like that, like 5 months ago. Because
Yeah, actually, time flies, man.
I didn't even have like 5 or 6 months ago because I didn't have most. I only had the tent, and I was saying that I want to with the 5,000. I want to get the 5,000 as what is this 5,000 the SE 5,000. I said I want to get the SE 5,000. Would that be good? You like yeah that you don't. And I said what else I need? You said you don't need nothing, and then
Right.
you say you don't gotta worry about humidity and all that. So I was wondering what the fuck they talk about humidity. So I didn't know none about you got to keep plants at a certain humidity range. I didn't know none of that shit. So when y'all said that shit, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I gotta look at what is the humidity thing? I gotta, So I was just, I didn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck was going on. But I know a
Yo,
lot more than before. I can tell you that. I'm happy with that.
you don't know until you know, man. One of the things my grandpa Herbert taught me, man, was like you're only stupid if you're too scared to ask a question. Like, don't feel stupid if you don't know something. Like, nobody knows until they know.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
you know,
if you would have just like never asked, then you would have never found out. You know what I mean? Like, and that's
hey,
how
I
it is
was
for everything.
like I keep telling everyone, I've been doing this research since 2020. The pandemic hit, you know, they legalized it before really the pandemic. We was walking around with weed and all that shit, but it was officially stamped. You know what I'm saying? Like around the pandemic time, officially stamped. So I was like, okay,
I bet delivery guys were making a fortune in New
oh
York
man,
City
and
during
I
the
moved.
pandemic.
And at that moment, I moved out of Brooklyn. I moved to the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck, man. I moved at the wrong time. Right? So I was like, fuck it. It's all good. It's not a big deal. You know, but I said, I want to learn how to grow because I was watching videos and stuff like that. And I was just listening to people. And I'm like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do this for 5 years. But the thing was that the people I was just watching, they were just trying to sell me they were just trying to sell mad products. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't looking into that. You know what I'm saying? I was just looking at, oh, they professionals. They know what they're talking about. Because I don't know shit about this. I see a guy just grow wheat plant. I'm like, oh, he's a pro, I don't know if he's a pro or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he's professional because he grew a wheat plant and
Yeah,
he's
you
selling
can't tell the
products.
difference on the internet
Yeah.
necessarily.
So I got fooled by things like that. I was taking lists, but it was holding me back because it was like almost $4,000. I'm like, man, just to grow a fucking weed plant, bro.
That's
Shit,
ridiculous, bro.
and
You know,
equipment,
I mean, I think Crop touched on it. I didn't like listen to enough of it because I was doing some running around and shit. But like, I think he kind of said something maybe similar to like with the equipment thing. It's like Look, there is always some equipment that technically might make your life easier, but it's not like a must like a lot of. And they always lead to like needing something else because like you turn the light up and then the humidity goes down, and then that affects another thing, and then that affects another thing, and then like and then people think you need a veg tent and a flower and tent and a flower, and then they think you need a special place to dry, and you can't just throw it up. And it's like, no, man, you can just
Yeah.
you don't gotta start with on level 10, man. Like I'm glad I started with shit. I think we had one of these 3x3s, like an old King LED light or a similar one like that, and just a 3x3 pot way back in the day, and started actually the very first grow was in the basement in my old, but didn't have nothing, man. But I also that was also like it wasn't 10 years ago, man. It was like something like 7 years ago or 8 years ago. It was there was information on the internet that to be had, but not as much as there is now.
Now.
Now there's so much, like there's almost too much because everybody's got different opinions on shit. But back then, we just did it like an
Sled,
experiment,
yes.
man.
Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend, Sled. Thank you for coming through too and supporting. I'm listening.
Oh shit, I was just letting you get at him.
You know, but I like there was another thing when you told me, you said, dude, you know what I'm saying? I started using Miracle Grow when you was growing. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I was like, for real, these people inspiring me, bro. Y'all really boosting me up more and more and more. And it was crazy because this nigga stole food from yesterday. My dog is a thief. Um, and when you told me that shit, I was like, what the fuck? Like I could do that, bro. Then I ended up going to this this store, and that's how I got the BX oil and all this other stuff. And I just bought those little things like that, little by little. It took me time though. If anybody follow me on Instagram, if anybody got IG, let me see. Damn, how do I post that stuff in this? Let me see. How do I post my IG? I think I must have went wrong with it, but he'll be back. That's the link to my Instagram. Um, let me see. I gotta drop the link again. What the hell? Yeah, but it is a good hobby. It's pretty fun. I never did this type of stuff before, so it's pretty fun. It kind of relaxes me, you know. And subscribe to Lit Wick channel, people. You heard? Lit Wick, drop your link on your channel so people could, follow, subscribe, do your thing. They still growing. I don't know when do they officially stop growing. I don't know anything. Like when do these plants officially stop the growth? Like from size, or do they still keep getting taller and taller? Like how does this work? I shot the sheriff. Mm, 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 mm. Y'all can hear the music. It's too loud. But it's a beautiful day today, man. It's a beautiful morning out here in New York City, NYC. It's a beautiful day, man. But for a lot of people out there that just wasting money buying weed and shit like that, you better off growing, you know what I'm saying? Depending how much weed you're smoking, if you're smoking an ounce a week, or maybe 4 ounces a month and shit like that, or 2 ounces a month, or maybe less, whatever. Get yourself a small setup, or like, you know, you hear what they say, you know, you got a closet space, you know, whatever. Get busy, you know, do your thing, or your own shit. People wasting money on garbage out there sometimes that you really don't even need to be smoking. You're like, yeah, this is trash. I don't need to be smoking garbage. Wasting money on. Gotta keep it real. Now, but bro, right now, we have a new bro. You know, I feel different. Been doing it. You know, there's what a lot of people do. I like this shit. Keeps me relaxed. But my next grow, I don't know, I'm hoping, you know, if there's people up there, you know, I want to send out shit, want to look out for brother. Send them over. They might want to hold me down, sponsor me, yo, talk to me, let me know what's the deal.
refresh this.
Damn. gonna get frosty now. Frosty. Frosty. Like this week, by the middle of week 5, I mean, they're gonna be right. By the middle of week 5, they're gonna be looking right. I don't think they're growing any more than this. I don't think there's any more of a stretch. That's just enough of a stretch I'm gonna get. But it's cool. I got one up to the second trellis. I got the trellis a foot away from apart from each other, so that's cool. Do I regret anything of this? No. I'm actually proud of myself to be able to pull something off like this, for the very first time. Something I never, ever thought of doing. So I'm actually pretty impressed with what it's looking like so far. I'm impressed. Now let's see if I can keep up with it. Now I gotta see what's up. But guys, I'm running this on a Spider Farmer 4x4. I got this in a 4x4 set using a SD5000 from Spider Farmer. I got 2 isolation fans going. I got a regular fan over here in the middle, and speed level 2. There's only 3 speed levels. Low, medium, and high. I got it on medium. Just tilt it slightly up, and the vent is off because I don't need it on. I got windows open, giving it fresh air. So as for now, everything is fine, Could I have done better? The honest truth? No, I don't think I could have done any better than what I did. I think this is the best I could have done right now. For my first time, I think this is the best I could have done. The best I could ever do. As for my first time, being at home myself, doing it myself, this is the best I have. So I don't regret anything about it. I'm actually quite impressed with the results. I have the knowledge now, a little bit of the knowledge, not fully, but I have a little bit of the knowledge of how to get it going, to start. How to get it running, how to try to keep it going. Now I know. Believe it or not, I didn't feed this plant the whole time. Like, I fed her after. I fed her one time and I was underwater. If I would have watered her properly, oh my God. I think I would have had a better. It would have been looking a lot much more better if I would have knew what I was doing with the water. I would have given them proper water. Oh my God, I would have got a great growth. But I'm happy with what I got right now. I'm satisfied. I can't ask for anything more, anything better than this. I'm I'm actually happy and satisfied with what is turning out to be and what it's looking like because this is my first time, so I don't even know how this is supposed to stack. I didn't know nothing about defoliating. I didn't know anything about that. So this is my first time doing any of this. So hey, I'm really proud of myself. Um, Now the question is, can I do better than this? Would I do better than this? I think I could do better than this. I think I could do better than this. Would I do better? Yeah, I would do a lot better. You know, it just depends on the genetics, I guess. But or me. But more likely, I think I would do a lot more better. I have more of a knowledge. I have more of a knowledge, and I also have a little bit more tools, you know, to use to play with. Yeah, I'm just looking around, making sure none of the buds is on the trailer, like, you know. But as for now, they're looking good, man. I'm really proud of them. I'm really happy with this thing. I definitely want to get into learning some breed. I definitely want to get into uh, but I want to learn how to reverse genetics. Like, how to, uh, one thing I'm just so curious about is reversing genetics. I just need people to help me and guide me through. I want to learn how to reverse genetics. I want to be able to get seeds from a certain plant where I can have seeds from a certain plant. I want to learn that, you know. I want to know how they do it, what they, you know. I want to learn that. That's what I really want to do. I'm gonna get there though. I just gotta be easy, patiently. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be patiently. I just gotta be patient. But patience, it'll work all out. My first mistake. So my first time ever. But I do appreciate your wonderful community, pro community. I'm really impressed. I'm really satisfied, with everything. Well, first of all, I want to say, like, I really do appreciate the pro community. I have learned so much from so many, and gotten so much fucking negative information from others also as well. So don't get it twisted. Just because you go to YouTube and you say you go to YouTube and type in anything, don't mean every YouTuber you come across is gonna give you valuable information. You JB, what's going on? A lot of YouTubers are gonna give you a lot of negative information. A lot of YouTubers gonna have a lot of great information for you. So just don't jump into a gun, when you're first doing anything, no matter what it is you're growing it, just anything in general, whatever information you're trying to dig up or whatever. Just make sure you take your time, man. Because a lot of people just, have these channels just to sell products, but the truth is the information they're giving you is skipping a lot of steps. They're only showing you the certain parts of the video of a video, but what they're talking is not adding up to what it is. But you don't know if you're new or you haven't even got started, but you want to get started. And you'll see yourself caught up in so many shit that you will be discouraged by so many negative information out there that you don't even know that it's negative, until you come across the right people, and then when you come across the right people, you be like, wow, I'm glad I still kept myself around this because I came across people who was real good, honest, that giving, the honest opinion, perspective, certain things to where it got me going, it'll get you going. And that's just what it is, man. But look, man, growing is crazy. Look, like they say, go with your gut, your feeling. When I started pruning, or however you pronounce it or say, when I started pruning these right here, like they said, look at what's not going to make it to the top. Just chop it off so the plant can get the other parts of the plant to get, and all the other things. And I just cut as best I could. And I'm glad I didn't cut everything because for me, as a new beginner, as a pro, I don't know, other people might cut these things off, but I don't know. But these look like real big sized nuggets around underneath the plant. So to me, they looking really, really healthy. They looking real puffy, real big. So I feel when they start really developing much more better, I think they're gonna be nicer, you know. But yes, they are looking real good. And the other plants, a lot of them are not too big. They small, you know, cause whatever. I'm a new grower, don't know much. I think I might have fucked up several times. You know, I know I did. But I have on my other plant that I have faith on. She look like she got some nice sized buds also coming along. You understand? So she's getting frosty also right now. As I'm looking at her, she's like literally she's getting frosty, people. You know. And I have one here that it's in between. It's gonna give me a couple nice buds, and I'm gonna have a few shitty joints in here too. I think I could have done a lot better with the pruning on this, but I didn't because I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. I had hopes for it, and obviously, right there, I made the wrong choice. But this is good. Look, I'm gonna be honest. You have autos and you have photo period, which I don't know much about either one, either or, you know. But from my experience growing, you know, my honest opinion, I think to start off growing with a photo has been a great experience for me. Because being I'm a new grower and I know I fucked up and I made mistakes. Behind those mistakes, as a new grower, it still allowed me and gave me a chance and gave me a second chance to do what I have to do as a new grower. I mean, that's just my opinion from my experience. I don't know about many of you guys, but it kind of giving me, a chance to get back and get myself in track and say, you know what? Um, Here's another chance. I think photos give rookies, beginner, people with no experience, I think photos give you a second chance to see what you can do. If you can't get it right on the second chance, then you're fucked. To me, if you don't know what you're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. So by messing with these photos and it allowing it and giving me that second chance and stuff like that, it was pretty dope. Because at least I got to see something and learn something out of it, and I didn't have to feel like, damn, I wasted, yet, because we don't know yet either, 'cause this is just the beginning stages of this. I don't know much yet, so. But it has allowed me to get a second chance while I made my mistakes, as a beginner, as a grower, as a beginner grower, for my very first time. It has given me a second chance. So I see a lot of videos. I came across a lot of videos that say autos are perfect plants for beginners and stuff like that. I can't say I agree or disagree, but what I can tell you is that photos are second chance plants if you know what you're doing. Pablo 420, salute. Bless up, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. So as a beginner grower, the first time you ever put in this shit on a pot and just trying to get it going, um, this right here, the honest truth, I think was the best choice for me to go with, going with photos, because it has given me a second chance, you know, when it has come to this, keeping up with my little thing right here. It has given me a second chance to, because I think autos, I don't think I would have gotten that second chance with autos, and that's the thing right there. I asked myself, well, doing this shit with autos, would I have maybe the chance to maybe get to this far, like me knowing the mistakes that I have made already? That's just, I ask myself that all the time. Would and I think as a beginner, photos been great for me, and it actually has opened up my mind to even go further in this. Try to reach certain levels. It got me to that point, to where I want to reach certain levels with growing with photos. I want to reach certain levels with this. I think me growing this, there's a lot of potential. Photos are the best for beginners. You can grow into as big as you want. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Because for what I know, for what I, hear from people who grow, you know, people are really more giving more credibility to, let's say, um, photos. I mean, autos because there's certain. But then I'm like, but damn, you will have to know what you're doing to deal with that. Because what happens if something go wrong? How can you take it back, go back and make it right and give it a, try to get a second chance? All that has run through my mind, and I'm like, you will have to be at least a little bit of an experienced grower to get it right. That's just, but I mean, you don't have to, but I think it's for people, and I don't think I will be ready for autos because I'm always touching. That is my problem. I'm always touching. I'm trying to do something to the plant. You know, I watch people, I listen, and I try to figure out the best method and then just go with my own way and just add my own touch, but just always keep in mind what certain growers said. Not too much of this, not too much of that. So I just try to keep that in mind. And I always look at after I do something to the plant, I try to see how they react. I try to learn my plant, like people said. So I just taking this shit serious too. My poor little bullshit plant, you know what I'm saying, got me wanting to grow more and more. You know, I just hope I could be able to get another plant because I definitely want to do that, man. I'm also looking for supporters. I mean, sponsors. You know, anybody want to sponsor? You know, anybody want to, stuff like that? Let me know. The email's there. You know, you want to send a brother out some seeds, hook a nigga up. Oh shit, they didn't even say that. I don't want to be. I don't want to be finished. Hook a brother up. You know, with some seeds. The email there, y'all can hit me up, or we could just kick it. We could just talk. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta be just giving me, sending me a pack of seeds or whatever it is. Or about spot. It could be about whatever. We could just kick it, talk, bullshit. You know. You know. As soon as I get things right, when I end up paying for the stream yard, not when I start getting things right, and I start doing this, you know, people could send me videos of their plants. I could put them up when I start doing little shows, you know, little stuff like that, you know, things like that. Some people who can maybe post their stuff because they're not at places where it's legal. You know what? You can send me the video, I'll post it up. You know what I'm saying? But you'll know who you are when you see your bro, you know. Or whatever you want to do, you know. Just give me time. I'm new to this. I just don't know too much when I be talking about it. Oh, you started 5 different strings out. Oh, okay. Outdoor shit though, man. You got that place. You got the spot for that. But I appreciate coming across people like you guys, though, because you know y'all keep me going, y'all keep me pushing. You know, the honest truth, I wouldn't if I was just doing it, I wouldn't even know if this shit was going to the right. And I would have been like, yo, what the fuck is those little white things or why it looks like that? I would have, you know, because I never done it, so I would have with no guidance and no nothing. I would have been like, yo, I think this shit is fucked up. This ain't no real weed. I would have threw this shit out. You understand? So that's why I really appreciate you guys, because you guys keep me going right here with this. Without you guys, I would have probably been through this shit out, because I would have been looking for easy. I wouldn't know no better. And I understand that this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Without no videos, people to talk, people, you know, any of you guys, I want to know what this shit will really be like, you know, growing. This shit just for a little bit, to get this shit out the way. You know the beauty of these plants, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know what's the beauty about these plants? That these plants right here, they grow right in front of your and right in front of your eyes. These plants will grow. I swear to God. Look, I've been chatting with you guys and stuff like that, and I know what plant has the trailers because I showed you the video is on the video. But then as I keep talking, I'm like, oh shit, this plant is right here pushing the trailers up on one side. But being that you know I got the milky things, you know I don't want them to get damaged, so I'm trying to fix them and move them out the way and put them in different squares and stuff like that. But it's crazy how they grow right in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Without you even realize, if you don't see it grow with you, you have something where it reaches you. Oh shit, that motherfucker is goddamn You know, that shit is fucking crazy, man. Cause you don't even fucking see the fucking plant growing. You just see it reach the level. You be like, what the fuck? How? But yo, re-vegging, is it worth it or no? Is re-vegging worth it or no? So JB, what are you using? You using soil? Like what, like grow mix? What are you using? I don't know much of this, but what are you using? Like Fox Farm, like Down to Earth, like what are you using? I think there's a guy online. Build the soil. A lot of people use this product too. Build the soil. There's a lot of people. Or they probably just sponsors. I don't know. They just probably just sponsor them. But a lot of people talk about build the soil. You know, like, do you know anybody specifically whoever used build the soil and they had better results with that than using any other soil? Or how does build the soil work? I heard you could customize it. You could make your own, you know, mix and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's wow. Okay. Yeah. So you reaching out to push to the max. You trying to get like going outside. You probably get like a 9 foot plant, 10 foot tall, 10 foot plant, something like that. If you outdoor shit, them plants will be for you. You probably grow something like 10 footers, 12 footers, 15 footers. If you do it right, if you outside, and I think if you outside, you can fucking, you can top all of them. You can top all of them bitches if you outside. You got all the space. What? You top all of them outside? Oh, it's a problem, bro. You growing fucking tons. I think that's the big advantage, right, of growing outdoor. Big enough 5x5 hole. Oh, okay. So the whole. All right. Let me see if I got it or not. All right. So let's say if I was to grow in a 5 gallon pot, I would have to dig in a five. I would have to dig in a five, like what is it, like a five by five. If I'm growing in 5 gallons, and if I'm growing, let's say that if I wanted to make it, can I get a sleep? I could, nah, I don't know. Don't worry about it. But that shit is dope. But you already put the seeds there and all that shit. I'm pretty sure you probably put the seeds there, or you're about to put it. Or you're about to put it in. So how many plants you looking at right now to lay down right there, how many plants you gonna wind up laying down? Are you separating them like? Just want to get your feet wet? Yeah, that's cool though. That's a good way of going. Just one. Because you get so much knowledge and so much information out of just one fucking plant, right? That's what's fucking crazy. Out of one plant, you'll get so much fucking information, so much experience just growing one plant. Like for instance, like check this out. Training, is it important or not? I don't know how important is training. But I can tell you one thing. There is a different structure with the plant. When it's trained well, when it's not trained properly well, and when it's not trained at all. And when it's, yeah, you can see the difference of it. Because here I have 4 plants. You don't want them for 20 months time. Nigga become the Scarface. My man become the Scarface out there. Oh shit, that would be crazy. Niggas can't even go to that part of the world. Oh, my man got that shit on fire. Yo, but for real, like to me, I see the difference on training plans, the structure. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. All right, I got 4 plants here. One of them I didn't train. You know, one of them I did not train, and it's more together, more combined together. The branches, it's not really space for it, giving it its own space. You know. And some of the thing of the bud things don't get enough light. The leaves are really actually too close to each other. The branches too close to each other is blocking. So I do see the difference from a plant that is not trained, and then a plant that is trained but not trained correctly. You can see the structure, but it's like I say, you can see potential. So when you look at it, you're like, damn, if I would have trained this one more better and grab it better, I think it would have done a lot better. I would have got better growth out of it. But you learn, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm learning. You know, so I do get to see the difference from the structure of a plant when it's trained and when it's not trained. And I understand what people when the people say clean it, clean the bottom, make sure so they don't focus on lower energy, you know. energy focus and concentrates on the top. I understand it now, you know. So that's what I do. I try to keep the energy focused on the ones that need to be focused the most on. Anything else is not really important to me. Well, the growing the plant is important, but when it comes to removing certain things, what I'm starting to realize now, um, is not important to me. So I'm removing and cleaning exactly what people say what to do. Which is things is just gonna uh energy suckers. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm removing all bad energy. You know what I'm saying? And I actually starting to see it more. I do this. I get to see the structure slightly more. Not the way people probably do, because people do a lot more better than me. For me, as a beginner, I understand it now, so I see it now. That's never going to make it to the light. So why keep it there, right? They say. So it's amazing how whoever got it, like, that's a glance and understanding these shit is ridiculous. All these things. Yeah, you gotta keep this shit clean, man. I realized that shit so it could get some focus on the right spot. I'm giving her a little touch up, a little clean up around here. So there's a lot of energy suckers in here. And this is the week where I want her to focus on the tops, on everything that's important. I don't want her to focus on the, on shit that doesn't really need to be focusing on. So I'm looking for anything that's, you know, trying to, anything that's around that don't need to be around. You know, I don't want Jackie and the girls hanging out with people she don't need to be hanging out with. Basically. As for now, I don't think she's asking me for any food, anything. I just gotta let her go, let her do her own thing. And that's it. I just gotta let her do what she do by herself. gotta go out there and do her own thing. I ain't gonna lie, removing these energy suckers feel good. Sometimes, you gotta take your girl out. You gotta make your girl look good, You want people to be like, oh, your girl is pretty. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking little energy suckers over there. And I realized that some little joints right there, remove it, there'll be a problem with your flow. They'll just take from others that's hungry or trying to live, they're just taking. So her wings a little bit more open. Slide. That's gonna be lost. So, that's not light. Not gonna get enough light. Not gonna get any bigger than that. If any bigger, it's gonna be nothing. So, gotta go that. That's how I do it. Not gonna go nowhere. But now she look much better. A little bit better than before. She's clean back there, so I don't gotta worry about her. Everything about her is mature. She's great. These baby girls I gotta always be careful for, Cause they too mature. She at this age, she's very delicate. guys, I'm just bringing in a little cleanup. But I'm just taking a little underneath what I know is not going to get right at the time at all. But little temporary stuff that's going to grow, but they're not going to grow. It's dead. What's the point of keeping something that's not good, right? That's what I'm doing. These little joints out. I don't need to do that. And I'll see what happens next. But yeah, it's not good enough that she got water long ago. So, this is really tricky. That's the only thing. She gets so bushy. So I just gotta keep making space. So that's what as much as I don't want to be empty at that, I still found my way to get in here because it gets so bushy. And so many bud sites are being blocked. So I just feel like I always gotta, open her up a little bit more, Spread her out. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching some of the buds to open them up, then I don't have training equipment. So I'm just spreading them as much as I can. of view I see. You know? What's up, chat? What's going on, fellas? I'm not gonna be boring. It's cool, I'm new. But this right here, which is what I'm creating. Moving, touching, parts of the plants that, you know, not gonna get no light. I'm already at that stage. When certain parts of the planet not gonna nothing I to do. So I mean I'm just assuming I'm not going nowhere with that. Time to get these suckers out the way and just get her looking nice. Right now she's looking a little better than before, I'll tell you that. Yeah. I just had to spread her out a little bit more because some of the branches was like wrapped up together. I don't know how they like, what they was doing like. I mean, huh? Now, but I was fucking when I was speaking. Having sex. You know what's crazy? The more you fucking deal with a photo period plant, the more, I mean, it's easy to fuck up through the plant too. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's easy to fuck up a plant too. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's easy to fuck it up. But what can I say? The more you get your hands on it, you really get to see what's supposed to be removed and what doesn't need to be removed, and what you removed that you didn't need to remove. Like doing this right now, bro, I swear to God, I just learned so much shit right here. And I can see so much shit here now. Now, could it be done better? Of course, it could be done better. But I don't know yet. So I guess the more I keep doing this, the more I get to see it. You know, and I only see it. I guess what I'm trying to say, the more I do it, just come and bring that out exactly. Yeah, like I guess the more I do it, the better I get, the more I get to see what's the structure of the plant as you do it. And then at the same time, people, check it out. You get to see what you fucked up, what you shouldn't take out, what you should have had took out. You know? So it's actually an amazing experience for me. So this is my first time doing this. And as I'm doing it, how can I say, as I'm doing it, these shit's gotten mad sticky. They gotten sticky. That's what people be saying now. Because before I was like, how the fuck is that plant is sticky? It don't even look sticky. And now, I see what they mean when they say, yo, the plant is mad sticky. Now, I can say it's a lot more cleaner. Had to clean her up a little bit. Had to clean her up a little bit. So I fucked her up. I cleaned her up, putting my hands all over the place. She'll come back up. Shit. But it gotten sticky. But, this is what I took out. There's a lot. But all the little small tiny pieces. I did the best I can. That's gonna be lost. I see what they say when it's necessary to have those buds, but they're not gonna get nothing. They're not. So I understand it now. At this stage, it makes no sense to have them there. They've been like there for too long. So I get it now. There's no need to have that bitch right there. Yep, that's not even gonna be a good point either. Damn, that's crazy. You can start seeing the shit now as you do it. You like, yep, that's not gonna be a good spot for it. That's not a good spot for it. Oh man, so I'm just learning here. I'm over here just learning. Trying to learn how to defoliate, you know. But I can tell you one thing, for a beginner, I must say, I realized myself. I'm going heavy on the heavy. Like, I'm really going heavy on this defoliation. This is a heavy, heavy defoliation. I don't even recommend this to myself. I did a heavy, heavy defoliation. My question is, should I have done it or not? I don't fucking know. You know how I'ma know? When the plant don't do shit. That's how I'm gonna know. I'll be mad at that fuck. I fucked it up. But what I'm looking at, I have to bend her that. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to do this to you now, but you know, I want y'all ladies to grow. I'm trying to push. I don't got nutrients. You know, that's how other people do it. So I'm pushing you in my own way. That's it, baby. Something good. Damn, bro, this shit got frosty, right in front of my face. Ooh, I might get a nice video of this. Yo, people, appreciate you guys for pulling up. Sorry. Ah.